Kasten spoke after filing the resolution.
I think our hope for all of us who care about American democracy and the rule of law and respecting the claims of the women.
The House Ethics Committee is divided over party lines on whether to release the report. The committee is set to meet again in December and revisit the matter. House Speaker Mike Johnson is against releasing the report since Gates is no longer a member of Congress. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel rejects with disgust an international criminal court warrant for his arrest. He's accused of crimes against humanity during the war in Gaza against Hamas militants.
Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant are accused of murder, persecution, and using starvation as a method of war. Hamas says the arrest warrants are a step towards justice. ICC member states are now obliged to arrest the two men. The Netherlands, where the court is based, says it's willing to do just that. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits falls slightly again last week to 213,000, but the number of people currently on unemployment hits 1.9 million, the most in 3 years, in part because of Boeing-related layoffs and recent hurricanes. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Round 2 is coming. Some lingering snow showers, cloudy and 30 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. A fair amount of snow fell on much of the state this morning. Not much of it in the way of accumulation, but it's thanks to some falling temperatures the last 24 hours.
So we're quite a bit colder than we have been the last several days. In fact, we've had a long stretch of above normal temperatures. That's obviously come to an end now. And it looks like it's not going to change a whole lot today. It'll increase a little bit.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service, who says the state will likely see a bit more snow later on this evening. A fire this morning has badly damaged the Four Seasons family restaurant on the east side of Indy along Shadeland. Heavy smoke and flames were seen coming out of the building as firefighters showed up just after 6 a.m. No word yet on how the fire started. You've heard it from President-elect Donald Trump.
Drug dealers, criminals, gang members coming into our country. Those people will be taken out immediately.
Referring to plans for mass deportations of illegal immigrants, General Dale Lyles with the Indiana National Guard says his soldiers are ready to assist with deportations if called upon to do so. Nearly a dozen train cars jolted loose and fell off railroad tracks in Frankfurt this morning. The cars were hauling vegetable oil and did not appear to bust open and start leaking when the derailment happened. Still, police there say the cleanup will take several hours as several train crossings have been closed. At least 3 new flight options will be available to you at the Indianapolis International Airport this spring. Sasha Nixon reports.
Frontier Airlines announced that it will add nonstop flights to Tampa and Atlanta in early March. It will also provide flights back to Indianapolis. And starting in May, Allegiant Airlines says it will offer nonstop flights to Portland. While Spirit Airlines had noted that it would be adding new flights next year, the company recently declared bankruptcy. It is not yet clear how future flights might be impacted. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Not all is well, it seems, with the Indiana Pacers. They lost again Wednesday, 130 to 113 to the Houston Rockets. That's 5 losses in their last 7 games. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Bear.
Southside northbound 65 crash at Southport Road, and checking out the camera here. 2 semis were involved in this, one of them getting hooked up to a wrecker right now. We have inbound out there, police out there, and the right and left lanes blocked. Center lane available for travel only, those 2 center lanes, and you can still enter northbound 65 from Southport Road, so that entrance ramp is open. Traffic on northbound 65 is stopped back to Main Street, exit 99 in Greenwood. The delay time's running about 36 minutes. I'm looking at US 31 instead. It's police activity investigation underway on the east side, Washington Street at Arlington Avenue. I tell you, so you watch out for traffic and the additional police presence on the east side. Westbound 70 slows Emerson Avenue into the north split. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine jewelry.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Light snow here this morning. Heavier snow mid to late afternoon. Could pick up 1 to 2 inches of snowfall for the evening drive. A high of 35. Will dry out, mostly cloudy overnight, a low of 30. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
30 degrees, mostly cloudy. Some lingering snow showers from this morning on radar. I'm Kurt Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, November 21st. It is 7 minutes after 9. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Coming up later in the show, we're going to have Lieutenant Governor-elect Micah Beckwith joining us. And we also have to discuss what the lawmakers in Indiana released, the results of their 2-year state and local tax review.
Oh, my goodness. These, just when you think the Indiana Republican Party can't disappoint you anymore, they said, hold our beer. Here's the tax committee's recommendations. And boy, howdy, should all those people be ashamed of themselves. And you mentioned Micah. Coming up at 10. You will not believe the crap that Westfield Schools is pulling. This is, even by public education standards, this is an amazing thing that I cannot believe that they did, and Micah will be with us to talk about that.
And we're also going to task our audience with a little job.
Yeah, it's a little audience participation segment coming up at 10 o'clock. So you'll want to stick around for that. But at first, obviously, justice was served yesterday, but Casey, just sucks that there had to be justice because the killer of Laken Riley was convicted, and he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Somehow he's not getting the death penalty, but this woman, this young girl, is dead because of the failures of the Biden administration.
Yeah, you're waking up this morning to some snow and colder temperatures, but that is nothing in comparison to the cold-blooded manner in which Laken Riley was murdered. And she was just jogging through the woods at the University of Georgia, nursing student, and her killer was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. The trial lasted 2 days. It came down to a judge, not a jury, who made the decision. But I have to tell you, Rob, when I was putting the template together last night and I was having to review all the different audio from this and all the articles, I got choked up myself because I have a daughter who is the exact same age as Laken Riley and who was a senior in college at the exact same time this happened. And you're right. This all comes down to the fact that there were open borders and the Biden administration is accountable for this.
Well, it's not only that there were open borders. They caught this guy.
Yeah, and let him go.
He was apprehended. It's not even just there's a failure on the amount of people we're letting illegally into this country. It's not even that. That's a failure. And then they caught this guy and they let him go. And when they let him go, and by the way, he was caught in a sanctuary city, correct? He was caught in New York, and they let him go. And when they let him go, he went and killed this woman. You can't, the argument always with illegal immigrants when they commit crimes is, well, you can't stop everybody from coming in. Well, A, you can stop way more than we're stopping right now. And B, he was apprehended. He was in custody, and they let him go. Absolutely. This is the fault of the Biden administration. This is the fault of these sanctuary cities. It is the fault of the left. This woman is dead because of them.
So Donald Trump said, although the pain and heartbreak will last forever, hopefully this can help bring some peace and closure to her wonderful family who fought for justice. And, he came in illegally. We flew him to a destination of his choice, fed him, housed him, and then he took the life of Laken Riley. And now he's, this trial paid for by taxpayers. And now he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, paid for by taxpayers.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And so, again, you look at what's going on in this country as it relates to immigration, and there are really two very, very, very large problems. And in both cases, it's our government not doing its job. So, number one, there is the mass, large, wholesale, illegal immigration crisis, probably 15-ish million people, if we're being honest. Screw those government numbers. I mean, think how long often they get the jobs numbers wrong, or the growth of the economy wrong. If they're getting that wrong, you think they're giving you a remotely accurate assessment of how many people are illegally in the country? Of course not. So there's probably 15-ish million illegal people who have illegally entered the country the past 4 years. But then on top of that, and now you've seen Todd Rokita actually looking into this, which, like this thing with Tyson Foods, where Rokita's now trying to figure out how many illegal immigrants are working for you in LaPorte, but also how many migrants here legally are working for you, because it's starting to look more and more like immigration in this country. And I heard Tony use this phrase, and he's right, as a description, and other people have used it too. Immigration is just becoming a jobs program. Like, you have people illegally entering the country, which big business wants for cheap labor. And then you have these migrants who are entering under a program that was set up in the 90s for El Salvadorians who were fleeing the death squads. And now they've expanded it to all of these different countries, and all of these people who can't show that their lives are in any sort of tangible danger if they were to return, or they can't prove it, are allowed to stay year after year after year after year, and then they end up working for these large corporations in these factories, et cetera. It's starting to look like, which is much of what Donald Trump has said, that indeed our immigration, how we deal with immigrants in this country, both legally and otherwise, is nothing more than a jobs program.
Did you see the latest that there's this huge caravan of migrants who are now heading to the southern border, just trying to cross the border before Donald Trump gets into office?
Well, can you blame them?
Yeah, they're like, let us in now, because they know it's coming to an end.
Yeah, and when Tom Homan comes out and Donald Trump comes out and they talk about large-scale deportations, this is why it needs to happen. These people, many of them, have cheated their way into this country. And when you say, oh, they're doing the work other people won't do, I don't believe that for a second. I think they're taking jobs that other people would take, and they're driving down wages. And most importantly, they're overstaying if they're here legally in many cases. Tony had some guy on, man, this was during the election, so I'm going to get the number. And it was on his midday show. And it was like 90% of these people, the stat that the person that Tony had on, which I've not heard anybody refute this, 90% of the people on this TPS program are overstaying their allotted time, or they're not coming back at the proper time to get renewals to continue to stay in the country. So it's a much bigger issue than just the 15-ish million people who have illegally entered the country. It's people who are not following the laws, who we allowed to stay in this country because they were supposedly under some sort of fear for their existence.
Yeah, it's really disgusting. And, the worst part is the DA not seeking the death penalty on this, because she's worried about collateral consequences to undocumented defendants.
Well, she's a big lefty.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
She's a big Harris Walls supporter.
Are we surprised?
Well, no, of course
not. No. But it was also revealed that the Biden-Harris administration flew him straight on a flight. It's a taxpayer-funded flight.
Well, this is what we heard about the governor of Texas, from the governor of Texas, right, is one of the ways that we're getting one of the ways that, and I'm not saying this guy was this, but I'm saying one of the things that they're doing now to doctor the numbers of the amount of people illegally crossing the border is, if they apprehend them at the border, they're just flying them into the country. The governor of Texas came out and talked about this at length, to skew the border crossing crackdowns, to try to make it is a full-scale crisis in this country. Donald Trump is the last really hope to clean this up. He's the perfect guy to do it. And I hope full-scale mass deportations. I don't care whether they've committed a crime or not. You've committed a crime by illegally entering the country. The act of coming in here illegally is the crime.
Is the crime, yeah. And the administration literally putting illegal immigrants above U.S. citizens. And do you remember Joe Biden during the State of the Union address? Marjorie Taylor Greene was heckling him, and he held up that button, and she was yelling at him, say her name, say her name. And then when he did say her name, he botched it.
He said the coach of USC was named Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's almost like this poor 22-year-old girl with such a bright, wonderful future had to be the sacrifice for people to actually notice what is going on and for people to start paying attention. But this is heartbreaking. Laken Riley's stepfather, he read a letter that she wrote to her future husband, and she wrote this letter shortly before she was killed. Now, think about this when the mass deportations come.
To my future husband, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I'm working every day to become the best wife I can be. But working through my current relationships to best prepare me for ours and our kids one day. I'm focusing on God and what He defines as a faithful Christian wife, and so that I can best embody those characteristics. I pray that you know that it is with my full faith and trust in God that I know this relationship has been handcrafted by Him. I pray that we continue to glorify the Lord, prioritize Him in every aspect of our lives, and raise our family, our future family, to be God-fearing Christians as well. I pray God is the center of our relationship as it is a gift from Him. I thank Him for you before I even know you, and can't wait to love you in the best way I know how for the rest of our lives. I pray you know and feel the importance of my love and hopes for our relationship. No matter what challenges we face, I pray that our trust in God and love for one another overrules the obstacle. May our relationship last forever. Your future wife, Laken.
Just a reminder, open borders have real consequences.
Well, and I don't know how that father didn't kill that guy. I mean, I don't know. There's not a jury in the world that I think would convict him. I don't know how he just didn't shoot him dead on sight. That's an amazing amount. And thankfully, she was a believer. I mean, I know to some people that may sound like a small thing, but thankfully she was a believer and very devout in her faith. But, yeah, you get the government you deserve. And unfortunately, in this case, this woman ended up dead because of bad choices of who was in the White House.
Do you remember when Donald Trump said they're not bringing their best to our country?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
there's
spot
your
on.
proof.
Trump right again.
There's your proof. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Slick spots on the roads that people will need to be aware of.
93 WIBC.
Winter weather advisory.
Hear the news.
President-elect Donald Trump wants to crack down on illegal immigration.
Mainly those who are affiliated with gangs, drug cartels, and other crimes. Soldiers with the Indiana National Guard are ready to assist.
Another news update is minutes away.
Murder and criminal recklessness. 13-year-old boy in Johnson County for the charge of murder may be charged as an adult.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Pat Sullivan here for Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Thanksgiving is next week, and did you know it's late? I mean, really late. As late as it can be. So why wait until Black Friday to start decorating? Fresh Christmas trees and greens have arrived. Porch pots are 20% off. Shop early for the best selection. Speaking of selection, how about checking out one of the largest selections of artificial Christmas trees in the state? 140 trees ranging from 2 to 14 foot tall, all priced before Christmas at 30% off. Now for a little bit of fun at our Keystone store and Allisonville store, we'll be tapping the 2024 Sullivan Express All Aboard Ale brewed by Beer Brewery. Yes, we'll have beer samples along with gourmet food samples all weekend long. Grilling out for Thanksgiving? How about 20% off any grill accessory? Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey there, Hoosiers. Are you ready to give your child a head start on their future? Indiana 529 savings plans are a simple way to save for their education. Plus, there are some great tax benefits. The best part? It's not just for college. Indiana 529 can be used for tech schools, trade programs, apprenticeships, and more. Start with just $10 a month at myindiana529.com to help them reach their dreams. Read the disclosure booklet carefully before investing. Sponsored by Indiana 529.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Shop Grand Appliance for Black Friday pricing all month long, plus thousands in rebate savings on top brands. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local Grand showroom.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Put your arms around me. What you feel is what you are.
So he says he fell down a hill. And that is what all the bruising is from. Have you seen the pictures of Jay Leno?
Yeah, this like, what is he, Jack and Jill? I mean, what does this mean? He fell down a hill. What is Jay Leno doing by which he would be falling down a hill? Like, there's a whole bunch of people who are saying this story doesn't make any sense. So Jay Leno was seen out and about. He was wearing an eye patch. His face was all bruised up.
Yep.
And then when he got asked how he did this, he claims he fell down a hill. He was staying at a hotel. TMZ, amongst many other people, have reported this. And then there was some restaurant he wanted to go to. He claims he took a shortcut to get to this restaurant and went tumbling down a hill.
Yep. He was staying at a Hampton Inn about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh. This happened on Saturday night. And he took a tumble when he walked toward a restaurant close to the hotel ahead of his performance. He was doing a stand-up gig, and he was just going to, he knew it was a big hill, and he took just one step too far, and he was seriously injured. Take a listen to this.
What on earth happened to Jay Leno?
Oh, your poor face.
Look at my eye. Oh my gosh. Jay Leno is all bruised up. The left side of his face is black and blue. His eye is swollen shut. And look at his injured wrist.
I broke my wrist, lost the nail on the finger, and then I'm all black and blue.
The comedian says he fell down a 60-foot hill.
I said, well, the hill doesn't look that steep. Let me take it down. And then
You rolled down a hill?
Okay, so he said he didn't have a car that night and that the staff at the hotel had directed him that he would be walking 1.5 miles. And so he decided to take the shortcut. Now, a lot of people are coming out and they're saying, like, this doesn't sound right. Like, that bruise, that contusion was quite severe looking. But here's what I'm thinking is going on. Jay Leno is 74 years old.
Yeah.
If he's on any sort of blood thinner or anything and you get a bruise, yeah, it spreads really awful like that.
Yeah, but here's what I don't understand.
Why is he staying in a Hampton Inn?
Well, that, but also, Jay Leno doesn't have a driver.
A driver, right. He said he didn't have a car that night.
I mean, okay.
He's just the guy who collects cars. He loves to drive.
That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, I'm not. Jay, and by all accounts, Jay Leno's been a very nice guy. He's not a grenade thrower. He doesn't get into politics. He's done a bunch of work for charity. Super nice guy. So I don't have any reason to think he's involved in some sort of nefarious activity of any sort. But it's like, does that really? Jay Leno doesn't have a driver service, or he doesn't have an agent who could call him a car, or even Uber, or like you're just see Jay Leno walking down the side of the road. Hey, Jay, do you need a ride?
Right.
Really? Has Jay Leno been hit on that hard of a time?
Well, do you remember 2 years ago, he had severe burns to his face and body, caught on fire, and he was treated at a burn center, and he had injuries all over himself. So he's had a rough go the last couple years. I don't know. He's an avid car collector, so maybe he didn't want to get in a vehicle that was, beneath his collection.
And I don't think Jay Leno has any kids. He's been married to the same woman for like almost 45 years. I think she's had some health issues, but he doesn't have any kids that I'm aware of. Maybe I missed that, but I was trying to read through here again to see if he does. So maybe he just hangs out on his own a bunch. I mean, that's kind of crazy to think as much money as he has and resources, but also kind of interesting that at his age and all the success he's had, he's still working, still doing stand-up comedy.
Right, still doing that.
That's pretty crazy.
I just find it so interesting that he stayed at a Hampton Inn outside of Pittsburgh. I mean, that could honestly be the same Hampton Inn that I've stayed in before.
Well, maybe the guy is thrifty. And look, again, it's not that okay, older people or whatever bruising, that's very common. My grandfather was that way as he got older. It's not that. It's just so weird that Jay Leno would not have access to an automobile of some sort. And but maybe he just was like, screw it. Who knows, man? I mean, it's obviously people are going to keep digging into it, but I think they may be a little disappointed in what they discovered, that maybe the guy just was wanting to walk to the restaurant.
Okay, something else that I wanted to share with you. This is Kai Trump talking to her grandfather, and they're talking about club head speed.
Anyway, honey, so are you out there now in Bedminster?
Yeah, I am. I'm here for another day, and then I'm heading back to Florida. So what's your best score on the new course on the front nine? Because I'll just tell you, after I hear yours, I'll tell you what I just shot.
I would say my best would be 32, maybe. That's a tough nine.
All right, well, I just shot 4 under too, so I just shot 32 as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. What do you think of Bryson's club head speed compared to my club head speed?
I don't know. I think yours is a little faster, honestly. I think you hit it way farther than him.
That's right, honey. Thank you.
Okay, so he's talking about Bryson DeChambeau. Who's faster club head speed?
Now, with Trump, you never know. Is he in on the joke on that, or is she so afraid to tell him the truth that she's like, well, of course, Grandpa, you swing the club head way faster than the ever-exploding King Kong.
Right. I thought it was a sweet, back and forth between the two, because he says, that's right, honey. Thank you.
Or she may have been worried that if she says him, it's going to be on Twitter. My loser granddaughter Kai knows nothing. Wish Tad had been my grandkid. Tad died. Tad was very ill. Tiny photo of Tad. Wish he'd have been my grandkid.
Okay, so you're saying that Bryson DeChambeau is got a faster speed than Donald
Trump is 9 million years old, and Bryson DeChambeau hits the ball farther than any guy on the PGA Tour. It ain't even close.
Did he ever get the hole-in-one across his house? I know we're on day 9, I believe.
I had not heard that he did. I would assume that would have been a big thing if he finally did it. So I know we got to get to a break, but Bryson DeChambeau lives in this mansion in Dallas. It's like all glass windows, and every day he's hitting, I assume it's a wedge, over his
glass house
to try. He has a big green in his backyard, or what would be his backyard, and he's going to keep doing it until he gets a hole-in-one.
And every day he adds one more shot to it. So he's on, I believe, day 9 or 10. So he takes 9 or 10 shots.
All right, Casey, when we come back, we're going to do my least favorite part of the program.
Is that when you tell everybody that you were right?
We've been telling you for over a year now, these dirt balls on this tax committee were going to royally disappoint and produce something that will royally screw everyone. And hot dang, they've released their
2-year plan. Yeah. And this is the plan that Jennifer McCormick was waiting to be released before she came out with her plan.
Yeah, well, her plan was going to screw everybody just about as much as these people. So we'll tell you all about it when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Russia is clapping back. Some lingering light snow out there, mostly cloudy, 30 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:31. Russian forces appear to have fired an intercontinental ballistic missile against Ukrainian targets.
If confirmed, it would be the first time since this war began that such a large weapon was used in the conflict. And it does raise questions about the message Russia is looking to send, given that ICBMs can carry nuclear warheads. The Russians have not publicly commented on that strike that injured 2 people or an additional 7 hypersonic cruise missiles they fired into Ukraine. The escalation comes as Ukrainian forces are now targeting deeper into Russia using U.S. and British-supplied long-range missiles.
Fox's Trey Yingst. The House Ethics Committee investigation into former Congressman Matt Gaetz will remain sealed for now. Pennsylvania Congresswoman Susan Wild, who's the panel's ranking Democrat, said yesterday's vote on whether to disclose the findings was split along party lines. President-elect Trump's pick for Attorney General has been accused of sexual misconduct. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. A little bit of a turnaround to start the day. The Dow was up 158 to 43,674. The NASDAQ up 128 to 20,875. And the S&P 500 is up 28 to 5,966. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple, like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
Discover Barkeep Vodka, the cleanest and smoothest vodka thanks to its unique compression filtering by indie-based True Essence.
Top shelf quality and value, and you're supporting local Indiana farms. Grab a bottle at any Indiana store or visit barkeepvodka.com.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with two of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Let's talk property tax task force. So a state task force in Indiana, after 2 years of review, issued recommendations aimed at improving the property tax system. Their key recommendations included transparency and simplicity, relief for seniors, and business tax relief. Now, I may be wrong, but unless you're over the age of 65 years old, there's nothing in it for you.
These people should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves, though you, the listener, should not be surprised, because we've been telling you this for basically 2 years now, that this is what came out yesterday was exactly what you were going to get, which is these people in the Indiana General Assembly do not want to do anything to help you. They have gone into this kicking and screaming and by force because the property tax bills are so out of control. And their goal with this, as was their goal 2 years ago when they supposedly passed property tax relief that didn't help anyone, and they're not this stupid that they don't know this, they know exactly what they're doing, is to do the least amount possible to get you to think they are doing something that is going to help you, and then by the time you figure out it hasn't helped you, they'll form a new committee to make you think they're going to do something to help you again.
We need another task force.
So here's the long and the short of this and I'll read you what one of the Democrats said here in just a moment. But basically, what they're going to do, you're going to end up, if they enact any of this, and I think Braun is way too smart to go along with any of this. I think Braun's going to stay focused on his plan because his plan actually will do some good and will actually help some people. If this plan were to be enacted, for most people, you would see no actual property tax savings. And what's most disturbing about this is you only have two options based on this recommendation. Either these people are so stupid that they don't know how their own property tax system that they've created works. Because based on the recommendations that they've put out, for the majority of people, you wouldn't see any help because of the way the system works, and the reforms they're putting in don't actually change the system. And if we had a 3-hour show, I could explain all that to you. But you just got to trust me on being right on property taxes for all these years that I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Or they're that maniacal that after doing it 2 years ago and it didn't help, they're doing it again. I'm going to go with they're that maniacal because I just refuse to believe they know so little about the system that they've created that they don't know that this wouldn't help. Now, here is the quote from, who was it? It was Ed Delaney. Ed Delaney's a state rep. He was on the committee. He voted against this. He said, quote, "We've gouged the homeowners. This report prefers business interest over our own homeowners who continue to lose. Ordinary Hoosiers are paying for complex maneuvers that allow businesses to pay less." Boom roasted, 100% accurate. This thing is a colossal disaster. And what will happen as a part of this is this committee is begging your local governments to raise your income taxes. What they said is, they're operating the same way they're going to help you with property taxes. This doesn't actually help you with property taxes. But instead of saying what is right, which is, hey, local governments are kind of out of control and people are really hurting and our goal is to make people pay less, they said, well, we encourage local governments to offset whatever help we're going to give you by raising your local option income tax. The audacity of these people, Casey. They know you're getting screwed. They know the system they put in place is screwing you. They know the local governments, primarily these school systems, are totally out of control. And their response is, well, whatever help you might get from this, we would encourage the local governments to raise the income tax to offset whatever. What the hell's the point of doing anything if you're just going to offset it?
Yeah, it's like the shell game.
These people are the worst. People like Jeff Thompson should be ashamed of themselves. I am glad that once again this election cycle, I kept my streak of not voting for Jeff Thompson intact. These people are pathetic.
Another thing that they said is that members emphasized that the property tax reform will take several years and can be addressed through reduced spending, borrowing, and better use of local income taxes. And you had Senator Travis Holdman, who said that the final report includes multiple reform recommendations for property taxes and local income taxes, but we won't be able to enact all of these changes in 1 year. But this report sets up the roadmap for where we hope to go in the future.
Okay.
In other words, they're just kicking the can on down the road.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this right now, in fact. Okay, so if you go to @RobinKendall on Twitter, there is a guy who really, really knows property taxes. He was a long-time local newspaper writer in Noble County, but he really knows and understands property taxes. He's actually the guy that when we debunked Braun's initial property tax plan, that I worked with to check and clarify some numbers and make sure that I was right. And obviously Braun later admitted we were right. He has a thread on, and this guy just does it for fun now. He's out of the media business. And I've got it pinned @RobinKendall if you'd like to go in depth and read how bad this plan is. This guy broke the plan down, and I agree with just about everything that he said. So if you'd like to go read how much you would get screwed during this plan, this would actually, somehow these idiots found a way to make it worse. Not only did they not
after
fix
2
it,
years, after 2 years of looking
they
into it.
don't want to fix it. And this is what I've talked about next year. Braun's plan is good. But if you think these lawmakers are going to pass it doing anything other than going kicking and screaming, you are dreaming. They do not want to help you. They do not like you. They are totally petrified and on the side of the local units of government. And you are going to have to overwhelm the system next year. Overwhelm, shut down the voicemails, clog the phone lines, send the emails. We're going to have rallies of some sort because these people hate you.
One thing that they mentioned in this task force report was that they want to put in effective controls. And the message that you had pinned to the top of your Twitter page, that's pretty vague, right?
Right.
What are effective controls? Means nothing, right?
The only way, because the same thing, Jeff Thompson is a despicable person. He is just a despicable person at this point because he did it 2 years ago and it didn't work. He's the head of Ways and Means. You want to know why our state finance, you know why there's things like $1 billion? Well, I guess now they've revised it down to $500 million because they actually had to do some reforms. Why there's a $500 million Medicaid shortfall? Because idiots like this run the system. This guy's in charge of Ways and Means. He's in charge of the money. He did something 2 years ago that we, the radio guys, were like, that's not going to work. And it didn't work. And here he is back doing the same thing with the same premise 2 years later. Either he's that stupid or he doesn't want to actually help you. He already tried it. It didn't work. It didn't help anyone. And here he is 2 years later doing the same thing. It is just beyond me that these people can be this callous when they know people are hurting. The only way you are going to make local governments get their act together is to force them by directive of the state of Indiana, who set up the system to begin with anyway. So you have total carte blanche, total right and freedom to enact Braun's property tax plan, reset those bills, cap the growth. Braun's plan does two things. It resets the bills and it caps the growth. That's the only way you are going to stop this insanity. And everybody should be ashamed that these 10 people, other than one voted against it. 9 out of those 10 said this seems like a reasonable thing to me.
Okay, so we've been told that Twitter X is a cesspool and that it's just a Republican echo chamber. However, blue sky has fallen, and now there's information coming out that X is actually a mirror to what is going on in the country.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Tonight on the Tony Kinnett Cast, we'll be over on YouTube at the Daily Signal for a special interview because the IU game is on, and I'm not missing that. See you then.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Say goodbye to cracked, stained floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out from their many colors. Upgrade your home today like I did. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. They come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. Call now for a free estimate. 877-417-0635. They're also online at galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell. It's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
The most incredible sale of the year is on right now at Diamonds Direct. Save an extra 20% store-wide. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, and designer jewelry. It's our biggest store-wide sale of the year. This weekend only, shop never-before-seen pieces, plus designers' appearances in the store. Save an extra 20% on Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Plus, the biggest selection of the year starting this Friday through Sunday. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Diamonds Direct. For details, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Join us on Monument Circle for Downtown Indy Inc.'s annual Circle of Lights presented by IBEW 481 on November 29th. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays to learn more.
Coming up at 10 o'clock after the news, we're going to be joined by Lieutenant Governor-elect Micah Beckwith. He's got something going on with the Westfield schools.
Well, it's totally believable, but the brazenness of this about what Westfield Schools is doing and how they are injecting politics into the classroom and how they are trying to stymie kids' ability to learn at this point. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the brazenness of this. And one of the things I'm really thankful for about having someone like Micah in there is he's not going to take the crap. And if you're going to pull crap, you're going to get called out. And hi, we're here, and we're going to be here, and we're going to continue to be here.
Yeah.
And if you send your kid to Westfield schools, you need to know what they're doing and how they're trying, who they're bending a knee to, who they're being subservient to, what lunatic group of crazy people they're letting dictate.
Well, and who's running the show over there?
Right, exactly. So we'll tell you about that coming up at 10 o'clock.
You also said something just now, plus we'll continue to be here. So I do have another question that I want to ask Mike about as
absolutely.
well. Yeah.
I know you're look, what have I continued to tell you? There's not a big enough he cannot inside the salary ordinance write a big enough check for me to leave here.
Well, good, because I can't raise Kevin on my own. You answered that the right way.
People got all the media was like retweeting this last night about Micah's thing, and it's
I'm going to ask him about it.
You ask him
what's
about
up
it.
his sleeve?
I'm telling you, there's not a big enough.
Right.
The salary ordinance. I've looked into the salary ordinance, Casey. It does not permit him to write a big enough check.
All right, so two big things we're going to discuss with him coming up. But let's talk about what's going on over on Twitter. You know, Elon Musk bought X in 22, seen as a big pivotal moment in American political discourse. And now there's been somewhat of a left-wing exodus of X. People are going over to Blue Sky, which is this new social media platform. However, that just continues to be an echo chamber for liberals. Everything they want to say, they get everybody agreeing with them. And many people from the right side who go over to Blue Sky have been blocked or banned within the very first day.
Wait. So Blue Sky is the new...
It's their answer to
X. The left echo chamber. So the left said, I'm very angry that Trump won this election, and we can still say whatever we want on X, but we're mad that more people are allowed to say whatever they want. So our response to you being able to play by the same rules we've played by is we're going to go to a new thing that nobody knows about.
Yes, that is correct.
That's brilliant, Casey.
Yeah, and somebody did an experiment by saying there are only two genders, and they immediately got blocked on Blue Sky.
Hey, by the way, wasn't there a stat that came out that said it is now basically 50-50 Republicans and Democrats on Twitter?
So there was a report that was done, and they said that X is a mirror to the United States.
This really gets at it. Look at this. The party ID among those who regularly use X/Twitter for news. Back in 2022, 65% of those who regularly use Twitter/X for news were Democrats. Just 31% were Republicans. Look at where we are today. Just a completely different picture. Now it's basically split between Democrats at 48%, Republicans at 47%. And what I should note, Mr. Berman, is this new overall makeup matches the overall electorate far better.
So it went from 65 Democrat to 31 GOP, now to 48 to 47 users on X.
And the left is up in arms over this because they don't want free speech. They don't want the fair sharing of ideas. They don't want an equal platform. They need, and we've been saying this for years on this show, the left depends upon squashing dissent. They depend upon being able to stymie, to block out any voice of opposition. That's how they thrive. That's how they succeed. Look at what happened in this election when, Elon Musk may go down. He's not, I guess he is kind of an American, right? But not by birth, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he may go down as one of our nation's greatest heroes, like with Lafayette or somebody like that.
Ben Franklin.
Because, his purchasing Twitter and the free flow of ideas that resulted and voices and et cetera because of that, definitely, without a doubt, won the election for Donald Trump.
And you're right. The liberals don't like to see an opposing viewpoint. And here's proof. Sunny Hostin from The View, she's leaving X.
I did some research, and it's like only 20% of Americans are on it. And out of the 20%, 80% are the loudest. And it really consists of a lot of racism and misogyny. And once Elon Musk took it over, I feel like he ruined it. Like, Black Twitter was a thing that I loved. And it was sort of replaced, I think it's something like 4,000%, with misogyny and racism. And while I don't read the comments, my team does. And they were talking about like the death threats that I was getting like all this like just horrible stuff. And I think that Elon Musk, I don't want to be affiliated with anything that he owns. I'm not going to buy a Tesla. I'm not going to buy Tesla stock. I just, I felt, in a way, I felt like it was a patriotic thing to do.
Didn't she just say that it became very racist, but then she said, I used to enjoy black Twitter?
Tesla stock, by the way, currently up. It's currently at $344.82. It's up $125.97 in the past month, 57.56%. I'm sure Elon Musk is really, really going to miss her opting out of buying Tesla stock.
Yeah,
like these people, the arrogance, it's a conceit of these people to think anybody cares whether Sonny Hostin's on Twitter or not.
By the way, Donald Trump has surpassed Taylor Swift in followers on X. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-305-8096. 800-305-8096. 800-305-8096.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get in gear with fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get a brand new 2024 Navigator. Get an incredible $10,000 off plus 0% for 60 months. Or get $7,000 off select new 2024 Lincoln Aviators plus 0% for 60 months. So get some of those fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Qualified buyers with approved credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Taxes and dealer fees extra. Stock number L24412. MSRP 104,200. Stock number L24208. MSRP 75,300. See dealer for complete details.
Custom home builder Joiner Homes is truly a one-stop shop because every stage of the process is done in one location. From picking the perfect home site to selecting the ideal floor plan, their architecture team will create a set of custom blueprints. Then into the design studio where you'll personalize every detail of your new home. A dedicated project manager oversees the home construction through completion. Joiner Homes will build you the most beautiful custom home. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joinerhomes.com.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lungcancercare.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Weekend emergency? No problem. They're here for you 7 days a week at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. B+W.com/radio to learn more. B&W is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes, there was snow this morning, and more will likely happen this afternoon. Plus, this prosecutor explains the charges against a teenager accused of shooting another teenager. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Crimes against humanity. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The International Criminal Court issues arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. They're accused of starving and intentionally directing attacks against civilians during the war against Hamas militants in Gaza. Oklahoma Senate Republican James Lankford on Fox.
This is another reason why the United States is not a party to the International Criminal Court. Neither is Israel, because this random court just tries to step in and take over sovereignty.
An arrest warrant is also issued for a Hamas official Israel says died in an airstrike in July. Netanyahu calls the warrants anti-Semitic. Ukraine's military accuses Russia of firing an intercontinental ballistic missile at the city of Dnipro.
It would be the first time since this war began that such a large weapon was used in the conflict. ICBMs can carry nuclear warheads. The Russians have not publicly commented on that strike that injured 2 people. The escalation comes as Ukrainian forces are now targeting deeper into Russia using U.S. and British-supplied long-range missiles.
Fox's Trey Yingst. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance is arranging more meetings for Trump administration nominees with senators who will vote on their confirmation.
At Capitol Hill again this morning, Pete Hegseth is in Washington, D.C. Hegseth is Trump's pick to lead the Department of Defense and is having meetings with Republican senators today. Those meetings come as a 44-year-old veteran faces questions about his confirmation after a past sexual assault allegation that he has denied. Senator Josh Hawley telling Fox News he's going to vote to pass all of Trump's picks.
I would just say to my Senate colleagues, listen, let these guys testify. Give them a shot. I know some of these Senate GOP folks are saying, "Oh, I've got concerns." That's what a hearing is for. Don't go out and bash these people until you've at least allowed them to make their case.
And Hegseth will get his shot, and we're told he's ready to go.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. The Monterey, California police report about an accusation against Hesketh in 2017 is now public. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A break in the action. Radar is mostly clear. A few spotty snow showers. It's 30 degrees. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The state got its first taste of snow this morning, and more is on the way for later.
Really, that corridor from, say, Lafayette and Kokomo, Crawfordsville, and then southward towards portions of Indianapolis, and then eastward over towards Rushville, we'll probably see the highest accumulations.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says those areas will maybe get about 1 to 3 inches when all is said and done. A fire this morning has badly damaged the Four Seasons family restaurant on the east side of Indy along Shadeland Avenue. Heavy smoke and flames were seen coming out of the building as firefighters showed up just after 6 o'clock. No word yet on what may have caused it. Murder and criminal recklessness are the likely charges against a 13-year-old in Johnson County. The boy is accused of fatally shooting James Davis while fiddling around with a handgun at a home earlier this month. Prosecutor Lance Hamner tells Hammer and Nigel on WYBC that both charges are super generic for now.
But it's juvenile delinquency for the charge of murder if committed by an adult, and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, a level 5 felony if committed by an adult.
Meaning it's not clear yet if he'll be charged as a child or an adult. 2 people arrested after a police chase in Columbus. Harrison Silcox.
It was late Monday night when Bartholomew County Sheriff's deputies tried pulling over a car with 2 people inside. The chase is on, but those 2 did not want to pull over. Deputies say at one point during the pursuit, the driver and passenger swapped seats after slowing the car down. Once the whole thing was over, the 2 were ID'd as Brandon Burton and Adriana Hoover. They were each arrested on charges of resisting law enforcement, and some drug-related charges were also added after deputies found narcotics inside the vehicle. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Anthony Richardson has one particular goal in mind when the Colts take on the Lions this Sunday.
Not fumbling. I had 2 fumbles throughout the game, so definitely trying to keep the ball in our hands and pushing the ball down the field.
Kickoff at 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868.
That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Shh. The silence you just heard? You could have used that space to reach your customers. Get your message in front of your customers. Text business to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, public education is totally out of control.
What do you mean, Rob? I don't understand.
I mean, we have had this conversation so many times on this program about the politics of the people running our public schools and how they are regularly injected into what kids see, hear, and experience. And what blows my mind is, not exclusively, but overwhelmingly, especially here in central Indiana, it is a left agenda. The lawmakers down the street from us know this is happening, and yet every single time they are asked to address it, their response is, here's more money for public education.
Right. And it goes both ways because the red-shirted angry teachers give money to both parties.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have seen, obviously, that they have been happy. We've seen money from the teachers union given to the Republican Party recently, and that should be a red flag to everyone. And it was brought to my attention another thing that has happened, and I said we have to address this because it is the biggest bunch of bull crap, and it is the latest red flag of how left the public education system has become. And it is the latest giant red flag saying to our lawmakers, do something about this. And as usual, it involves you.
Hey, guys.
How's it going? It's Micah Beck with the Lieutenant Governor, incoming Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana. By the way, my entire life has just become dealing with and hearing about you.
I'm just trying to live my life. I'm not even sworn in yet. I'm just a normal guy.
We were talking about this, and this story is just simply unbelievable. And I said, we got to come on and talk about this. So, as Lieutenant Governor, one of the things you will do is you will oversee agriculture in the state of Indiana.
Secretary of Agriculture is the Lieutenant Governor.
Public policy around agriculture, funding for agriculture-related things.
And most importantly, encouraging the next generation to get into the industry of agriculture.
Yeah, it's a huge part of what you will do because we have seen, and I know you've talked about this quite a bit, about the amount of farmland that is going the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, going to China, or farmers are having to sell because they can't make a good buck anymore because things like property taxes are killing them. And then the next generation doesn't want to take over mom and dad's property anymore and their farms because they see how hard it was for mom and dad. So we've got to encourage the next generation to get involved through programs like FFA or ag programs in schools.
And one of the things, so you mentioned the ag programs in schools, which are, especially in many rural school districts, and even our suburban schools, are still a big deal. And you've said to these school districts, hey, I'm willing to come speak about this. I'm willing to talk about what our office does. I'm willing to talk about ag in the state of Indiana. And one teacher at Westfield said, great.
Yeah.
Why don't you come speak to us?
Yeah, so I got asked about a month ago to come and speak to the ag program at Westfield High School in Hamilton County, and it was great. And actually, not even speak, listen to the presentations about what these students were going to were doing in the agriculture world. So they were putting together presentations, different experiments, things like that I was going to come in and listen to. And so that was multiple weeks ago. I got asked to do that. Well, yesterday I get an email from the teacher.
So the head of this program said, hey, you're the incoming Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah.
Your job is to oversee this. We think it'd be great for you to participate.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. And you accepted.
And I accepted. I was excited to do that. Let's go talk about ag. I want to answer any questions and encourage these students to go into the agriculture world because that's the backbone industry of Indiana.
Not in a partisan fashion.
No,
we're not talking Republican or Democrat.
Just talking agriculture.
Right.
Like the
grown corn and soybeans.
That's right. And so Monday, well, here's the deal. Monday, I start getting
reports from people. They start sending me screenshots of the Karens on social media.
Oh, no.
Going against, drumming up things like Micah's coming to Westfield. Parents, he's a far-right Christian nationalist radical. Like, your kids aren't going to be safe. Like, that's what it was. Your kids aren't going to be safe with Micah coming to Westfield schools.
Wait. What do they mean they're not going to be safe?
It's a great question. I don't know. That's the left being the left, right? They always say, oh, we're unsafe,
like
right?
You're the Night Stalker.
Unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
And
so these are like on the townie chatter boards.
Right. Westfield Uncensored.
Sure,
places,
right.
Which is such a cesspool. You should never, like, listen to anything that's
I got
that's
banned
happening.
from the Brownsburg one during COVID. I have a lifetime ban for saying that I will eat at whatever restaurant stays open during
Honestly,
COVID.
the people who allow those things to
I'm like
to
Pete
run
Rose.
are
I've
just-
applied for reinstatement several times, and it's been denied. So anyway,
we'll get you into the Hall of Fame.
The Westfield Townie Chatter Board Karens were outraged that you were going to talk about
yes,
agriculture.
Right? And so I'm thinking, okay, no way does Westfield bend the knee to this. They've got to be a little bit more bold. Or like, I just didn't even think about it, right? Well, then yesterday I get an email. And here's the email. Sent to my chief of staff. Unfortunately, we are going to have to postpone our meeting for tomorrow due to a scheduling conflict. We are not going to be able to host Micah. Once he is in office, I would love to have the opportunity to bring my students to the State House and meet him in person. I sincerely apologize for the late cancellation and hope that we can work to set a date in the future that works for everyone. Just, hey, Lieutenant Governor-elect, you're not welcome on our school, but we'll come down to your office where the lefties won't, be able to, see us. And so they uninvited me. So I called the teacher. I said, hey, for real, was there a scheduling conflict? Because that happens. Like,
Sure.
I understand. Like, that happens. And his exact response to me was, I'm just trying to keep my job.
Oh.
He said,
That's unbelievable.
He said, you're a smart guy. You can probably figure out why I was forced to cancel. Those were his exact words to me.
So that means, and if you're just joining us, Micah Beckwith, incoming Lieutenant Governor, is our guest. We're talking about how he was essentially uninvited from speaking about agriculture, which he oversees for the state of Indiana at Westfield High School. Because the Karens got angry on the Westfield Townie Chatter. So this had to be a call from the superintendent and the principal.
No doubt. and the principal. And the principal is really far left. Her name is Alicia Dennison. Super far left. She's a wokist. And the principal is a coward. Or I'm sorry, the superintendent, Paul Kaiser, is a coward. So I called him.
Was he Beech Grove?
Yeah, he was Beech Grove.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have Hammer weigh in on that in his segment.
So Hammer called me last night, and he said, "Hey, I know this guy. We got to have you on next week to talk about this." And so I said, "Let's do it, man." So you'll be hearing it on Hammer and Nigel at some point.
But I think the point of all this, and then I'll let Casey hop in here, is this is another example. You are an elected official. You are number 2 in the state of Indiana. You are right behind the governor. You oversee this program. You're telling the school system, I want to come hear what your kids are doing, what these kids are doing, so I learn how to craft public policy. I would like to learn from them. I want to speak if I'm spoken to, not in a partisan fashion. And because of who you are, which let's not kid ourselves, it centers around your faith and your outspoken.
They hate Christianity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have now.
By the way,
but they want the money. They want the money.
That's
from the
right.
state.
That's right. By the way, a year ago, guess who came to Westfield schools? Dr. Jill Biden was at Westfield schools. Remember
That's
that?
right.
Yeah. So
That's
she
right.
came. So Dr. Jill Biden's allowed to come.
Yeah.
But your lieutenant governor-elect over agriculture, no, you're not welcome on the Westfield grounds because you're a Christian and you're conservative. And by the way, this teacher, good guy, he's a conservative. He says what he told me is in that conversation is because of his conservative viewpoints, he's just trying to keep his job. And
that's unbelievable.
And that's Westfield.
Well,
schools.
totally unbelievable.
And it's Paul Kaiser, who's the superintendent, again, a coward. I talked to him last night, and he said, well, I just, we're just trying to make sure that there's no conflict, right? There's no conflict. And we're afraid that maybe this will create a. And I said, Paul, you know who Neville Chamberlain is? I said, you remind me of Neville Chamberlain. He tried to make peace with Hitler because he didn't want conflict. You know who had to come in and clean everything up?
What conflict would there be?
That's the fit. He said it was with the phone calls that we got. I said, Paul, how many phone calls did you get? He said, we got 15 phone calls. I said, oh, my God.
So wait.
15 phone calls. Man, they stormed the beaches in Normandy in 1944, and you took 15 phone calls. Man, we got some brave Americans.
Okay, so we got to beat 15 phone calls. Casey, go ahead and ask a question, and then we're going to do something here on this program. They want 15 phone calls. We'll show them 15 phone calls. Go ahead, Casey.
The other side. Well, I think it's just a bummer because you weren't even going to speak. You were going to listen.
I was going to listen to what these kids were doing.
Students, they might have some bright ideas that you could implement or at least look into, and because of your faith in Jesus, you're uninvited.
Yeah, and by the way, 2 of the students that are in this program go to my church.
Mm-hmm.
They came up to me on Sunday and said, hey, we're excited to see you this week in our class. And so they found out yesterday that, oh, by the way, your pastor, who is the lieutenant governor-elect, is not welcome in your school.
Mm-hmm. So now it's going to be even a bigger hassle, most likely, to have those students come to you in the State House.
Yeah, and you know what? It's it is. It's just it's frustrating. It's sad because this hurts the kids.
Mm-hmm.
This totally hurts the kids. It's the left woke mob doing what they do, and then you have cowards like Paul Kaiser, and then the school board in Westfield. They're cowards too. They won't. And by the way, just a few weeks ago, they had a boy using the girls' restrooms. I don't know if you heard about this story. And when a father of one of the daughters at Westfield High School found out about this, he posted about it on social media and said, this is unacceptable. We should not have boys using girls' restrooms. You know what Paul Kaiser did? He called the parent, threatened the parent with legal action if the parent didn't take down the post.
So we need you and Nancy Mace there.
There we go. So this is Westfield. They're letting boys use girls' restrooms. They will not let the current lieutenant governor-elect come in and talk about agriculture or listen to students talk about their futures in agriculture, right? But they will invite Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, come in. We'll roll out the red carpet for her all day long.
Yeah. Okay, I need to ask you about something that you posted on Twitter. Are we going to get into it?
Yes, but first, let me do this.
Okay.
I would like to. 15 phone calls is what we have to do.
That's right, yeah.
I think we can do this. I'm going to give out Paul Kaiser's phone number.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to give out his email, if that's all right.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think we should show our audience where the public is, and we'll see what sort of response we can get. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. So
for
Paul,
the kids,
for the children.
Yep. Let's do it.
So Paul Kaiser's phone number, they list this as the Westfield Washington Schools office phone number.
Yep.
317-385-4912. 317-385-4912. And then, like, for fun, should we just give out his email too?
Sure.
Just for fun.
Sure.
So 317-385-4912. Just call him. Let him know. Let him know what you think.
Yep.
And then his email is Kaiser P, Kaiser P at wws.k12.in.us. That's Kaiser, Kaiser P at wws.k12.in.us.
And I got to say this,
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts, Paul Kaiser.
Right.
So
I'll see your 15 phone calls and raise you.
I was on the phone with a school board member from Westfield yesterday, too, and you're going to love this. And he's a good guy. I mean, he, again, probably not the most bold guy, but he's a conservative, and he wasn't happy with what happened. But he says to me in the conversation, he said, we also need to talk about more funding for schools like Westfield. And I said to him, I think I'm going to use this story all over the state to try to get universal vouchers pushed through and try to strip away as much funding from schools like you as possible because of the woke crap that you guys are doing right now. You're letting boys use girls' bathrooms. You won't let the sitting lieutenant governor or future lieutenant governor come in and talk about agriculture. And you're going to ask me about getting more funding for your schools right now?
Right.
Like, this is the problem. You guys think like this is just an unlimited piggy bank, and you keep indoctrinating our kids with woke ideology in places like Westfield School. You think I'm going to go down to the State House and fight for more money for you? Like, okay, we've got Earth to Westfield. This isn't going to go the way that I think you think it's going to go. And so anyway, we're going to get universal school choices passed, and we're gonna let everybody in the state of Indiana know that this is going on. I was up in Lake County last night. I talked about this story last night. Talked about this story.
All right, so 317-385-4912. 317-385-4912. Would you look at the time? We're out of time. We got to go to break.
No. What are you talking about?
We can take a break, but we're
coming
coming back.
We can have another segment.
Yes.
There's nothing left to talk about.
Oh, yes, there is.
Yes.
We've already talked about it.
I know what it
yes,
is.
there is.
I know what it
Rob
is.
Kendall. There is something to talk about with Mike.
Fine. All right,
All right, we're going to take a break. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
slick spots on the roads that people will need to be aware of.
93 WIBC.
Winter weather advisory.
Hear the news.
President-elect Donald Trump wants to crack down on illegal immigration, mainly those who are affiliated with gangs, drug cartels, and other crimes. Soldiers with the Indiana National Guard are ready to assist.
Another news update is minutes away.
Murder and criminal recklessness. 13-year-old boy in Johnson County for the charge of murder may be charged as an adult.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Bee's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Proud to be an employee of Woo!
Well, some folks say they're gonna hang him so high, 'cause you just can't do what he did.
This is Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. What are you doing?
I'm staying with
Why are
Micah
you-
Beckwith because there's something else that we need to discuss with him.
So Micah is our guest. I'm sure you just wanted to thank Micah for inviting us to the big ball. I know he wanted to go, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Micah, for inviting us. We accept your invitation.
I also invited Hammer and Nigel.
We're going to be discussing that with Hammer coming up, that they need to go as well.
You know what? Somebody had a question about this. Who pays for this? Is it taxpayers that pay for the inauguration, or is this the party?
I think this is the stuff prior to Monday, I believe, is the party, and then you have to buy tickets for that too.
Yeah.
So
we're not costing taxpayers any money. We're costing rich Republicans money.
But Monday, the inauguration is actually free. So like you can, but you just have to RSVP.
Yeah. So there's no cost.
There's no cost.
To anybody.
But I just want to go to the ball because there's some people there that I want to make miserable, and this will be my one chance. So thank you for inviting us.
You're welcome.
And this has been a great segment. We really appreciate you being with us. Thank
I think
you.
Casey wants
take
to
us to
say
break.
Will you be wearing a tuxedo, Micah?
I think so. Susan's been sending me all these different tuxedos I need to try on, which is really
Do we have to
annoying.
wear a tux?
I don't know.
Bro.
Listen, I wore tennis shoes the other day.
I know.
And apparently,
I heard all about
somebody
it.
was like upset
Everybody
about
was
that.
my whole life has become you. Micah did this. Micah did that. Micah's
in the
over
state
here.
house
Micah's
with
you need to
they
tell
were
Mike.
dress tennis shoes. This is what millennials do.
Dress tennis
like that's
shoes.
what we do.
Like
Come
I'm
on.
sick of it. I finally just started telling people he is not my problem anymore.
He's a full-grown man.
That's
okay,
right. No,
there's one more question.
it's the Kendall Casey show.
I I know you're trying to get out of this.
You got to go to break.
I don't
We got bills to
understand
pay.
why.
Well,
No, I don't understand why.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you tweeted out, Micah, the other day, Rob Kendall for communications director.
That's
Thoughts?
what you wanted.
Thoughts?
Mhm.
I mean, I was just thinking, it was one of those days, just random thoughts with Micah, and I just was thinking, like, Rob Kendall, I think, would make a great comms director. I just wanted to know what people think.
Yeah.
And overwhelmingly, the support was positive.
I do think, I agree with you, he would make a great communications director. However, I do believe that he would be better doing policy work because let's be honest, a communications director has to carry the brand and not really give their opinion, even if they disagree with the decision of the brand. And that's really not up Rob's alley. He'll let you know how he feels.
But I think that wouldn't it be fun to have a comms director that would call out policy decisions from people on his own staff in front of the media. I just think that would make for an interesting conversation.
Could I do? Okay, here. Look, so here's the problem. This is two things.
And by the way, real quick, and then I'll let you finish. I didn't say my comms director. I was just saying comms director in general. Like, why did everybody assume
I
that?
saw the media started retweeting that as if it was like, oh, here we go. Okay, so two problems. One, three. One, Casey can't do. Casey would be lost without me. That's our first problem.
I can't raise Kevin alone.
That's number one.
Kevin would be like, Dad, where are you going?
Number two, this job sounds like some actual work. This would not be like a 7:30 to noon.
Well, you'd be working for this guy.
No. I never said that. And I never said that. I just said comms director. It could be the White House comms director. I mean, I could have been thinking about that.
And then third, I just called a bunch of Republican legislators scumbags that worked on that tax committee on social media. I mean, I would be worried about bad branding for you. I mean, I just like.
Let me tell you where that tweet came from. I just wanted to troll the media. That's really what it was. And I knew, and I literally knew if I put that out there, the James Briggses of the world would be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, James, I'm still waiting to come on the show with you. So wherever you are, my friend, let's talk it out on WIBC.
Oh, so I don't have to make this choice, right? That's what you're telling me. Like,
I was just trolling the media.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're good.
So up all night last night, thinking like,
there's no offer coming.
Can I let my friend down?
There's no offer
coming. Oh no!
I told Micah today. I said I would need to make the exact same amount as you do plus 1 penny.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
The salary ordinance doesn't call for that, sir. Well, I guess we've got a problem.
You really want to get the taxpayers angry? Do that.
No, but here's the thing: I would do the work of 4 people. You would end up saving
like
money.
you do here.
I do the work of 0 people here.
I am going to make a call to the White House and say I think Rob Kendall would make a great comms director.
Howdy! I'm sure they'd line right up for that. Yeah, hot dang. Hey, man, thank you again for telling us about what's going on with the schools. That's complete crap. What's going on with the Westfield schools, and thanks for calling the stuff out, man.
Yeah, call Westfield, email Westfield, let them know your thoughts, because we really do need to focus on the children. Education should be about the kids, and unfortunately we have leaders at Westfield that will not focus on the children.
Yeah, if you think it's complete crap that Westfield schools, by the way, they're the people that are spending $12 million on the tennis courts.
Sure.
Remember,
but they need more money.
If they did the property tax reform, would be,
need more money.
all the children would suffer. But they got $12 million for tennis courts. They have disinvited Micah Beckwith from speaking because of the angry Karens on the Townie chatter board.
15
phone calls. So I thought, well, if we could get more than 15 phone calls, I think we should be able to do that. 317-385-4912. 317-385-4912. The superintendent over there at Westfield Schools. Micah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, it was great to be with you guys. Thanks for what you're doing.
And too bad, Casey, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that's good for me and for everybody who
listens.
listens.
Did you hear the sorrow in her voice?
That's right. Kevin will be happy.
Yeah. We're doing it for Kevin, Micah. We are.
Doing it for the kids.
Yeah. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Mike loves the fall in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, heat gain has been reduced. We save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Heading down, it's cloudy and 30 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. The number of people looking for a job was lower last month.
New claims for unemployment benefits declined last week to 213,000, a 7-month low. In the previous week, claims fell unexpectedly to a 6-month low. Fewer people are signing up for benefits, an indication employers are holding on to staff. Though there is a sign it's getting harder for people on unemployment to find a new job. Continuing claims rose by 36,000 to 1.9 million.
Fox's Jenny Casola. Senator John Thune says there's a good line of communication between he and President-elect Donald Trump, despite a rocky past. Thune is set to become the new Senate Majority Leader in early 2025. He says with Republicans controlling the Senate, the House, and the Oval Office, he's hopeful for quick action on key issues. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions, so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. You know, it is Thursday. That means Sunday's going to be here before you know it. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or even a first church home, check out the place we call home, Life Church. You know, Life Church is warm. They're welcoming. They'd love to meet you and your family. Many WIBC listeners have found a home at Life Church over the years, and I know we're thankful for Life Church. See it for yourself. They make it super simple for you with campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus awesome online services. You can learn more about all of it online, lifechurchin.com.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
See Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails. Brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatment at 317-559-PAIN.
What are you laughing at?
I think we like clogged the voicemail already and like shut the guy's phone down. That Paul Kaiser guy, we just ruined his whole day. That's
Do you
great.
think he got more than 15 calls?
I think he probably has, but keep calling if you'd like to call the despicable superintendent there at Westfield, who is supportive of Micah Beckwith getting disinvited to speak to the ag students. 317-385-4912. Paul Kaiser is his name. Now, I think we've already, because people said it's going right to voicemail, which means he was probably getting so many phone calls. If you can't, certainly leave a voicemail. But if you can't, if it's clogged to the point or you can't get through or whatever, his email is Kaiser, Kaiserp at wws.k12.in.us. And so let's just remind everybody again real quick what's going on now. It's a new day and the government's going to be handled differently. Because Micah Beckwith is not going to take crap from the left, and we're not going to take crap for the left, and you put our rings together, and
Wonder Twin Powers activate?
That's correct. So now you know that if stuff happens, it's going to get back to us, and, you know, did you know we're number one?
Mm-hmm, I did.
And we're just going to talk about it, and that's how the next 4 years is going to go. So whether you're a local school corporation or you're inside state government, we're going to have all the information now that, you know, I used to have to work really hard to get before. It'll be really easy to get, and we'll talk about it when crap happens.
So after that interview, Micah said that he did reach out to him and said, hey, he wants to get together and discuss, and Kaiser gave him multiple options throughout the day of when he was available. And I said, Micah, what time were you supposed to be at the school? And he said 1:30. And I said, well, that's when you're available.
It's just, yeah. Oh, the mailbox is full. So you got to email him now. If the we did that in one segment. So if you call this guy, I guess the mailbox is full now. Kaiser, Kaiserp at wws.k12.in.us. Look, he got the memo. And all you other school corporations, all you other local governments, all you other people in the State House, this is how it's going to go now going forward. We didn't start this. Our guy won, which means we got a voice and we got a footprint in there, and that's how it's going to go going forward. New day, new us. Get ready.
Yeah, we won. Get used to it.
And here's the thing. Just don't pull crap. This guy in the school system brought it on themselves. The guy was invited to speak. Micah Beckwith is the head of agriculture in the state. He was invited to speak and be a part of and visit with ag students. Job fits what he was asked to do. A group of local wine mommies got mad on the Townie Chatter Board, and because the superintendent and this principal are total lefties, they bent the knee to these lunatics. Okay, fine. That's the way you want to play. Here comes the heat from the other side now.
Yeah, you're going to hear the other voices as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and also with that interview with Micah, I asked him about the tweet that he put out where he suggested Rob Kendall for communications director. He did say he wasn't specific about communications director for who. But we did get some phone calls about it yesterday. You solicited, you said, hey, I want to hear from the audience. What do you think about this? And, well, they called here as well, Rob. 317-684-8444. That's our phone number for the voicemails. So let's get to them. The next 4 phone calls, all about Rob being communications director for the lieutenant governor-elect. What are your thoughts? Here we go.
Hi, Casey and Kevin. Rob, I don't know if you should go anywhere. You give us the most information on what's going on, honestly, in such a short time. And there's a lot of us that really count on you for that information. And we know that you're telling us the truth. We know you're not trying to gaslight us. We need you for that. So unless you're willing to clone yourself, I'm going to say it's a great job. I get it. But you're going to have to find someone that's exactly like you and keep Casey. But I just don't know if you should go anywhere. You've helped so many of us, and I can vouch for that. I know tons of people you have educated and helped and brought laughter and definitely tears too. But I don't know. I think we feel like we lost a family member to government. I don't know if we can handle that. We kind of need you guys. But that's my take, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Tears on my end, by the way. Okay, so that's one for the don't go.
So now they're saying this
column.
guy's email doesn't work, but all these news stories have this as his email. So I don't know. I'm going to have to now check and try to find this this guy's email, because the email that they've got listed, he must have got a new email since this went up.
It's probably in the school directory.
Well, that's what now I got to try. See, this is my whole day has been ruined by this. But anyway, let's stay focused on that for a second. Maybe it's his letter first. Try putting the letter first. If there's a P. Kaiser, he'll kick. No, I'm just saying we'll find it. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Phone call number 2 about Rob being communications director.
Well, this Kirk's truck driver, Kendall, you, as usual, haven't realized that the world moves without you. You could go into these political offices, and Miss Casey could do this radio show by herself, and or get another radio host to come with her. So, yeah, go for it, bud. And watch the show, go somewhere else. Talk to you later.
Casey, how many times on this program have I said that there's only one person in the history of this business that if they didn't show up to work the next day, it would have mattered?
It was Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
How many times have I... See, this is an example of, I got you. But I've literally said this exact same thing. The show would go on. Would it be as number one?
As number
Probably
one.
not.
Number,
the show would go on, and
it just wouldn't be as good.
It just, like that lady said. I mean, I've literally got people in tears.
Yeah. She's sitting right next to you. All right, here's another phone call about this.
Hey, Rob Kendall. Stay where you're at. We, the people of Indianapolis, the state of Indiana, and the town of Brownsburg need you doing what you're doing, keeping us enlightened on all the things we don't hear about in the state house and local government. And honestly, I enjoy coming to the town council meetings in Brownsburg and seeing your comments or any comments that you have during the public commentary with King Travis and VP Ben and the rest of the crew in Brownsburg. So stay where you're at, unless, of course, that big check is truly a big check that is non-taxable and cash under the table. Thank you for what you do, and listen to you often. Bye.
That was a nice phone call. He said the town of Brownsburg needs you. However, the Hall of Fame not ready to induct you in just yet.
Okay, that is his email. It's KISERP@wws.k12.in.us. I don't know if it's bouncing back. I don't know. This is where he's sent emails to people, so that is right. Okay, anyway. Is there another call?
There's one
more.
more.
There's one more? All right,
Yeah.
then I'm going to tell you what I think.
All right, here's the last phone call about Rob Kendall, potential communications director.
Rob Casey. Hey, Rob, I think you should absolutely do it. I think you'd be great at it. You're very smart. You're very personable. I think you can get the job done, but I would also like to see you in policy. And like you said, do both. And I'm sure you could do the radio show and work for the administration and just have Casey do the template every morning. There you go. Problem solved.
Okay, so this is all very good stuff. It seems pretty split 50-50.
You can't do both. You can't do the radio show and communications.
Or you'd be
director.
surprised what I can pull off.
Well, no, you would be able to.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to.
Well, maybe.
I think there'd be problems on both ends,
I
not
don't
only from the government, but also from Urban One.
Look at how little effort I actually put in here each day.
He said I could do the template. I do that already.
Here's the thing. I would need to make what Micah makes plus 1 penny.
Yeah.
I
don't think that's happening.
That's what I would be holding out for. To leave here would be what Micah makes plus 1 penny.
So you can hold that penny over him?
Well, I want to be the highest paid person in the office.
Got it.
And I would be. Let's face it. I would be the most valuable person in the office. So if I'm going to be the most valuable person, and I would do the work of 4 people.
Sure.
We would be able to get rid of 3 other positions. So the taxpayers would save money. I would be the most valuable person in that office. So that yes, I would be worth whatever he makes plus 1 penny. And then I think I would have to strongly consider going over there. But I'm not sure they can do that in the salary ordinance.
Here's a message to Micah Beckwith from me. Hands off. We need him here. He's not going anywhere.
It's going to be a fun 4 years, Casey. Oh, by the way, yeah, so the voicemails are full for this. He's gotten the message at this point.
Yeah.
So hopefully Paul will just do the right thing and re-invite Micah back to speak to the ag kids because, well, he oversees ag in the state of Indiana. Or if he wants to keep it up, I'm sure there's lots of things in the Westfield schools we could start looking into and lots of things the public at large would like to know about.
Don't want to be under that microscope. All right, Hammer's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show, 3:06 this afternoon. Nobody has more fun than we do in the afternoon. Don Fisher, the voice of the Hoosiers, Rob Kendall, all scheduled to join us. 93 WIBC.
Pat Sullivan here for Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Thanksgiving is next week, and did you know it's late? I mean, really late, as late as it can be. So why wait until Black Friday to start decorating? Fresh Christmas trees and greens have arrived. Porch pots are 20% off. Shop early for the best selection. Speaking of selection, how about checking out one of the largest selections of artificial Christmas trees in the state? 140 trees ranging from 2 to 14 foot tall, all priced before Christmas at 30% off. Now for a little bit of fun at our Keystone store and Allisonville store, we'll be tapping the 2024 Sullivan Express All Aboard Ale brewed by Beer Brewery. Yes, we'll have beer samples along with gourmet food samples all weekend long. Grilling out for Thanksgiving? How about 20% off any grill accessory? Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
Mortgage rates are down and creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. Maximize your home sale now with the market expert who delivers maximum money in less time, Mark Deedle. Perhaps you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Mark from Danville had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I finished building my new perfect home out of state and needed out of my old place quickly. Plus, to cover the cost of the new home, I needed a big price. The Mark Deedle team was my answer. My home sold in 3 days on the market over my asking price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle 317-755-4232 for all the details or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
Hey, y'all, it's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now, 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
Hey, holiday shoppers, got a no-brainer gift idea for you. It always fits. It's super useful, and best of all, it's just $50, plus you get 2 for the price of 1. I'm talking about a classic membership with AAA Hoosier Motor Club. AAA has bailed me out so many times. I've been broken down on the side of the road. I've had my car battery die on me, flat tires. AAA is there getting me back on the road ASAP right now. You can get 2 memberships for the price of 1.
And that comes with roadside assistance, 24/7, 365. Get that peace of mind knowing your loved ones are safe out on the road. Plus, travel discounts, complimentary travel planning, and you can also get info on auto, home, life insurance. All you got to do is visit AAA.com/radio to get this deal. AAA.com/radio or stop by a local AAA office. 2 memberships for just $50. Give that gift right now.
Text scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry, McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. So what does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Hey, it's Casey Daniels. You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing, and that's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your devices, privacy, and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast, though. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends December 4th. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Lousy well water? You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems and great people, too. Call C&J at 317-852-WELL.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Would you like fries with that? Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, they are rated #1, the Hammer and Nigel program. And from that show, Jason Hammer in the studio. Good morning.
Sun's out, guns out. Look at you.
That's right.
Little snow doesn't stop you from flexing around here a little bit. You look good. You look like $1 million damn dollars.
So do you.
Thank you.
How about me?
You're here?
I'm the one who never changes. I look exactly the same as I did 10 years ago. I never changed.
I don't know about that.
I never changed. I weigh the same.
Pictures that we post for when you are coming up on Off the Rails, you can see that you were as obnoxious as you are now. Just next level D-bag about 10 years ago.
Really? You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty fit back then, though. I mean, I'm way about the same, but I don't feel like I'm as fit now as
you
I was
did go
back
through
then.
a little chunker of a phase, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few pictures I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen Rob, like, fat.
You posted a picture with you and Linda McMahon on X, and I had to do a double take because you were doughy.
I belong to the ages.
You were country strong.
Well, I've been as high as I've been as high as 180 and as low as 140 as an adult. So,
by the way, Linda McMahon, how awesome is it that in the United States right now, the current mayor of Knox County has once delivered a pile-driving tombstone to the incoming head of the Department of Education?
I love it. Hey, speaking of delivering a tombstone in politics, Micah, I know now, has invited you to the governor's ball, the big inauguration. Will you consider coming?
So you guys know how I feel about these kind of things, right? Yeah. It's just corporate, schmoozy, butt-sniffing Olympics. That's what it is.
Right.
It's the butt-sniffing Olympics.
That's correct.
But here's my thing. I told Micah this. If I can wear my Dumb and Dumber powder blue tuxedo to this thing,
absolutely,
I will reconsider.
No, totally.
You got to do it.
I don't think we have to ask.
Will you, if I sponsor the orange half, because I own the blue one.
Yeah.
If I buy you the orange, Rob Kendall,
do it.
Will you walk in with me? You can have Gabrielle, I can have Crystal. They'll be on the other ends, and we can walk in together in the powder blue and orange tuxedos.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You would do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do you even get an orange tuxedo? Rent an orange tuxedo?
I had a buddy of mine, Drunk Matt. You know,
Drunk Matt!
Drunk Matt has the orange one, but he's a different size than you.
Right.
We had them when we worked at the casino together.
Yeah.
And
can you rent? I mean, we're not going to buy one. Can you rent one?
Oh, totally.
Got to be able to rent
totally.
one.
And you can find them on Amazon too. So I'll talk with Micah. I'll talk with Crystal. What's the date of this thing? Is it
It's January something,
January 8th, I believe, isn't it?
It's a Saturday, right?
Yeah. I'll find out here for you.
Because it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it's a Saturday night.
Okay, I'll check and see. But if it's all clear on the calendar, because one of those Saturdays we do
Saturday, January 11th.
Saturday, January 11th.
Okay, we may be out of town. But I'll double check.
Gotta cancel all your plans.
Change that.
Yeah, this is more important. Because here's the thing. If we get enough of us, Casey and her husband, me and Gabrielle, you and Crystal, we'll have a table to ourselves, which means we won't have to sit with any of the losers.
And they'll put us in the back corner by the door.
And it's going to be like that scene in Blues Brothers where Rob and I are throwing shrimp into each other's mouth.
You know what we are? We're going to be the mutants at table 9 from The Wedding Singer.
I'll be the lady with sideburns.
Yeah, you can see Braun get up there, fatty, sideburns lady, the WIBC freaks at table 9.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to be amazing. Yeah. If you get the all clear from the boss, I'm in on Dumb and Dumber tuxedos at this thing.
Perfect. Great.
Yesterday, we had a little game with Kylan, who's filling in for Allison. How many songs about monkeys can you name? So I put together a little montage here of songs about monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kevin, you're going to play the game today, okay?
Okay.
So it's based on the honor system. You don't have to name the title of the song or the artist. Just yes or no if you've heard of it before. I've got 7 songs in this montage. I've set the over-under for Kevin at 5.5. Are you over or under?
Under.
Yeah, under.
Okay. Kevin, play the montage and just say yes or no if you've heard it or not.
Yes.
1. Okay. There's 1. We've got 7 songs in this montage. Here we go.
Yes.
2 for 2. These are songs about monkeys.
You've heard that?
Yeah. Beastie Boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Need an answer.
Yes.
Shock the Monkey, Peter Gabriel, 3 for 3.
Yes.
Dance Monkey, 4 for 4.
You've heard that?
Yeah. Oh, it's big.
Relatively current.
It's like my betting on the sports show lately.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Rob had that one and Casey had it.
Yes.
Foo Fighters, there's 5. One more.
For the win. Or the loss in our case.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes! I finally won on the hook! After getting screwed for 3 straight weeks on every hook, I finally won on the hook!
I had no idea. That's some good research. I never would have guessed that there were that many monkey songs.
We left a bunch on the table.
Yeah?
There's a lot of other songs about monkeys, but this was...
Why did you do this again?
So there's a story from Thailand about how 200 monkeys have gotten loose from some enclosure and they ransacked a police station.
Sure. Right, absolutely.
Of course.
Like the police station has had to lock down because of the aggressive monkeys looking for food.
That's a fun game. What do you have coming up today, Hammer?
Rob, Kendall is going to flip out and go off the rails. A different time today, 5 o'clock, because our show ends at 5:30 for IU basketball.
Yep.
And we're going to have Fish on, Don Fisher, the voice of the Hoosiers.
All right, thank you. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
JMV here. Miss M's Home and Garden has everything you need for the holidays. Arriving this week, fresh cut trees, live wreaths, garland, porch greenery, and more. Visit the Home and Garden Center to shop stunning displays filled with the best quality Christmas decorations. And don't forget houseplants, poinsettias, and more. All that's going to make the gift-giving ideas easy. This Saturday and Sunday is the annual holiday open house. Shop both days for sales, samples, giveaways, and door prizes. Miss M's on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lungcancercare.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Coming up in 2 minutes, you'll get more of that white stuff falling from the sky later today, plus why traffic is snarled up in Frankfurt and what the Indiana National Guard says they're ready to do. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
War crimes in Gaza. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The White House says it fundamentally disagrees with the decision by the International Criminal Court to issue arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, accusing them of, among other things, using starvation as a method of warfare in the fight against Hamas militants. Fox's Trey Yingst.
Israeli officials are already pushing back against these warrants, but the ICC also issued a warrant for a man named Mohammed Def, the former leader of Hamas's Al-Qassam brigades. What's important to note here, Mohammed Def is dead, and it's not clear why the ICC would release an arrest warrant for someone who is dead.
Now, the court says it's in no position to say if he really was killed in an Israeli airstrike. It would be an escalation if it turns out to be true that Russia used a new weapon there.
The Ukrainian Air Force said early this morning that Russia attacked the city of Dnipro with an intercontinental ballistic missile. President Volodymyr Zelensky adding that the weapon's speed and altitude made them think that was the case. It would have been the first time Russia had used such a missile in this conflict. But Western and US officials are briefing news outlets that this assessment appears to be incorrect. They add they're still examining the evidence. ICBMs have ranges in the thousands of miles and are designed to deliver nuclear warheads. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Thanksgiving's a week from today, and it's expected to be the busiest travel season ever at airports.
We know everyone wants to get to their final destination as quickly as possible. Our priority is to get you there safely.
FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker.
While every day between now and Thanksgiving will be very busy, Tuesday is forecasted to be our busiest day.
More than 18 million passenger screenings are expected next Tuesday through the following Monday. The actor Jussie Smollett's disorderly conduct conviction for a hate crime hoax is overturned by the Illinois Supreme Court. He spent 6 days in jail, then went free pending appeal. The sentence was 150 days. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Be careful driving. It's cloudy, 31 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Snow fell this morning, and that has, of course, brought on some slick roads out there today.
There will be some areas it looks like some slick spots on the roads that people will need to be aware of, and be careful not to underestimate the road conditions in that scenario.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service. More snow expected to fall later this afternoon, maybe about 1 to 3 inches in central and northern parts of the state. A train came off the rails in Frankfurt overnight. According to Clinton County Emergency Management, nearly a dozen cars derailed and blocked a few railroad crossings within city limits. No hazardous material was aboard the derailed cars. They were hauling vegetable oil, and emergency managers say that none of the cars spilled their payloads. Fort Wayne police say a woman is wanted for murder and other crimes, and they need your help finding her. Sasha Nixon reports.
According to a wanted poster, Kirsten Sims is suspected of murder, attempted murder, and a parole violation. Officers believe she should be considered armed and dangerous. Sims is described as a 5'3", 215-pound woman with dark dreadlocks and brown eyes. If you see her, please call 911. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
You've heard it before from President-elect Donald Trump.
Drug dealers, criminals, gang members coming into our country. Those people will be taken out immediately.
Referring to plans for mass deportations of illegal immigrants, General Dale Lyles with the Indiana National Guard says his soldiers are ready to assist with deportations if called upon to do so. The Indiana Hoosier men are number 16 in the nation and are back at it tonight. They host UNC Greensboro. A good test for their defense, says guard Kanan Carlisle.
Play our defensive scheme that Woodson taught us, ball pressure, making sure we make the life of the guards and other bigs, other team as hard as possible.
Tip-off tonight at 6:30. Catch the game right here on 93 WIBC. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine jewelry.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, November 21st. It is 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. I like it. This is 2 times in a row now. We've started a segment with you laughing. What's tickled you now?
I just find it hilarious that we totally ruined the day of the Westfield school superintendent. Like that we just shut his voicemail down and then people are sending him emails. That was the correct email that we were giving out, by the way. I guess somebody had a problem with it, but most people said, hey, I sent an email and it went fine. And so if you missed last hour, Westfield uninvited Micah Beckwith, who is the head of agriculture now in the state, or is about to be, from speaking with the Westfield students about agriculture. Well, it wasn't even
that he was going to be speaking. He was going to be listening to the students.
Sure, right. Which even makes it more ridiculous. And they admitted, basically, it was because the superintendent got a bunch of 15, he said, phone calls from a bunch of wine mom Karens on the Townie Chatter board. And I said, oh, okay, well, if it's 15 phone calls, then we'll do that. So since we shut his voicemail down and he's getting emails, I'm sure we've long eclipsed 15. So since I have Paul Kaiser's phone number now, I'm going to call him tomorrow and send him an email and find out if he's now going to re-invite Micah Beckwith, since he got way more phone calls and emails in favor of Micah Beckwith than the wine mom Karens
against.
So I'm going. We'll follow up, as they like to say, with that tomorrow.
Okay, let's talk about what's going on with the House Ethics Committee. They voted against releasing the Matt Gaetz report, which stemmed from allegations of sexual misconduct. So there was the chair said that there was an agreement by the committee to not release the report. It was a 10-person panel, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats. They voted along party lines on whether the report would be released or not. Gaetz, of course, has denied any wrongdoing. So here's what I think is going to happen no matter what. It's going to get hacked. It's going to be released.
Sure. If I were a senator, this would be my thing with this report. I don't need it to be released publicly, but I would need to see the report.
Yeah.
Because if the report does indeed do what I think it does, which is there is no victim in this report. No person has come forward from what is leaked out and said, I am the person that engaged in this relationship with Matt Gaetz. It's people or a person. And because the one person has come forward and said, well, I saw him do this. Yeah, well, Christine Blasey Ford said that Brett Kavanaugh did horrible things to her. And a bunch of people were like, yeah, she wasn't even there. They weren't even there together at the same time. This definitely didn't happen. So the allegation without some sort of corroborating evidence is not enough for me, nor even close. If it's just some person saying it happened, and look, the guy's been under investigation for multiple years now. You think if law enforcement had a victim, right, with any sort of ability to substantiate a story even remotely, given who it's the Biden Justice Department, you think they'd just be like, we're just going to let that go. Matt Gaetz, one of the most high-profile Republican congressmen in the country, is accused of having sexual relations with an underage girl, and we'll just let that. No, of course not. I would be floored if there is anything that corroborates the story, and if I'm a senator, if there's not that, then I would vote for it. However, I'm not, and I think you would be doing your constituents a disservice if you didn't at least see the report before casting a vote.
Okay, so you would not vote to confirm without seeing the facts.
Yeah, I don't need it released publicly, and I think that that's totally reasonable, and that's what Gaetz should tell anybody is, hey, yeah, look at it, see what it says. I mean, again, if we're going to start judging people, did Matt Gaetz probably do some wild, you-know-what?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Did he probably have a rich, good-looking dude who was a congressman, and his daddy was, before that, a high-profile Republican power broker? Yeah, he probably is that guy, and he probably did do some of the things that have leaked out that he might have allegedly done.
Doesn't want out there, yeah.
And I'm not saying there's not some things that you go, oh, that's kind of embarrassing, but it ain't illegal. And if we're going to get into who's had wild sex romps or who's done things that are embarrassing in Washington, then all 535 of you go ahead and just line up, because anyone other than maybe like Rand Paul or Thomas Massey are probably in for a rough go of it.
Okay, so Democrats believe that they're going to face challenges in securing the 218 votes needed to release the report. They're going to have lots of GOP opposition. And Senator Tommy Tuberville, he just called out his fellow GOP senators opposing Matt Gaetz in a pretty smart way. What he did, he put up a giant billboard that said, number of Democrats who voted against Biden's 21 cabinet nominees, 0. So you also had 20 Republicans that voted to confirm Merrick Garland, by the way.
This happens all the time.
Yeah,
look at whenever there's a Supreme Court justice that comes up for confirmation. These Republicans always roll over and vote for whatever leftist gets put up to the Supreme Court. Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, any of these people. They get, the Republicans do their job. Who's the Sotomayor? Oh, this is terrible. Sotomayor. Who's the other left? Oh, Kagan. Woo, boy, that was bad. That's what they do. But then when it's a Republican, if they don't have, it's 51 or it's always some special thing where you're banging, will Susan Collins do the right thing? This is the way the Republicans always operate. The Republicans are wimps.
Okay, well, here is Tommy Tuberville, and he's trying to shame his colleagues.
And an attorney general. He's nominated Matt Gaetz, a qualified attorney who has served in Congress for nearly a decade. Matt Gaetz has been a warrior for the Constitution on the Judiciary Committee and has exposed the weaponization of the justice system of the DOJ. Ask yourself, why are my Democratic colleagues, the media, and the establishment losing their minds over these highly qualified nominees?
Okay, so he's trying to shame people into voting the way he agrees with. But if they did affirm all of them 100%, then that would definitely send a message to the Democrats as well as, the deep state, the Washington elites, that the Republicans, they mean business this time.
Yeah, I just have zero faith in the Republicans. I mean, why would anybody have any faith in the Republicans? This is what they always do. They hold their team to a higher standard than they hold the other team, which is why complete hacks. I mean, Merrick Garland's been a horrible attorney general. In addition to being a partisan hack, he's just bad at the job, and they just roll over and confirm that. And so, who knows what's going to happen? I know there's going to be a lot of pressure, and rightfully so, from the Trump camp to approve this guy because Trump won the election. Trump ran on certain things. I think Matt Gaetz is going to be a big part of that, or what he wants to do with the Justice Department with Matt Gaetz leading the way is going to be a big part of that. But I find it very hard to believe you have two total wimps and weasels in Murkowski and Collins. So there's 2. Just go ahead and throw those 2 out the door. So now you're down to 51. We got McConnell. Probably go ahead and throw him out the door. Now you're down to Todd Young, who almost always does what his adult supervision McConnell tells him. So now you're 49. So now you've lost. I mean, right? It's math. So I think he's going to have a very hard time getting him appointed.
Well, Sunny Hostin from The View is getting a double shot on the Kendall and Casey show today.
Oh, how exciting.
She was forced to issue a legal note on The View that Matt Gaetz was found to have done nothing wrong after a 3-year DOJ investigation.
Sunny, you have a legal note. I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought. We'll be right back.
So she was not pleased about having to do that. Looked like a hostage video. She was so mad. It's like a child who definitely wants dessert, but I'm sorry, this was her eating her vegetables.
By the way, somebody sent me from one of these Westfield Townie chatter boards, and some of the comments on these boards. Oh yeah, it is all about Micah's religion. They confirmed that. Well, I mean, these comments that I'm looking about, it is about Micah's religion, Micah's faith, and so basically, what these people are confirming based on their comments here is they're pissed off. They don't want someone that is a devout Christian going into the schools and their children being around or, exposed to or whatever. So I'd love to know from Paul Kaiser, and I'll call and email him and ask him if he wants to come on the show, if he's going to rescind or not rescind. By the way, the voicemail is open again, they said, so he's cleared that out. So maybe we should just shut it down here again in a little bit. But so they don't want somebody who's devout in faith even around the kids, I guess, because when you're looking at these comments,
how many rainbow flags do you think are in the classrooms?
Well, right, and the fact that they got the boy using the women's restroom and they're fine with that and everything. This is Westfield Schools now. This is Westfield Schools. If you're a devout Christian, you can't be around the children. But hey, men in the women's restrooms or boys in the girls' restrooms, that's okay.
Okay, let's talk about quickly what Scott Pressler did. You know, he's the activist who did a lot of work on the ground in Pennsylvania. And he just he went off the rails, Rob. He went off on the Bucks County commissioners who counted those illegal ballots to help Democrats cheat in that county. He told them to their face that he was spearheading an effort to remove them from office. He said, "We're coming for your seat in 2027 if you don't resign today."
And I have a message. Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
have at it.
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit. Mark Elias and his cronies must be disbarred from practicing law in Pennsylvania, any of his cronies for the misconduct that they did. I want you to know that I am going to spend all of my time in Bucks County for the next 3 years making sure that we take back this county. Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today. We did it!
And you got to believe that guy. When he says he's going to spend the next 3 years doing it, he will.
America needs more people like this person.
But did you hear that lady, the commissioner, say, have at it?
Well,
she's challenging him.
What that reminds me of is the flippant responses in Brownsburg where I live that old Eric Hilton was giving the parents for a couple of years when they were getting up at the school board meetings. And then our boy Gordon Hayward beat him into the dust 70-30. So, sometimes a little flippant attitude with the voters, it doesn't always play well. Show a little respect, show a little humility. And look, I would not want that guy. I would not want that guy pissed off at me.
Okay, so this one woman has fled the country and she has moved to Great Britain, and it's all because of Donald Trump. She said she's never coming back to the United States. Well, bye-bye. We'll talk about it coming up from 93 WIBC.
Galloway for a three. Renew. Throws it up and in and a foul. For a three, yes. And a Bacco.
Mike Goodson has an exciting roster of veterans, transfers, and freshmen. UNC Greensboro heads to Bloomington to take on IU tonight.
Throws it up. Got it!
John Herrick has the pregame at 5:30. Don Fisher with the tip at 6:30 on your home for IU basketball. 93 WIBC.
Hey, don't take your eyes off the road. Just listen. What you hear right now, your customers hear it too. Get your message heard. Text business to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Don't wait until Gold Friday. Get your tickets today. Siakam hits the three. Pacers have the lead. Pacers pre-Gold Friday deals have tipped off.
Out to Walker. He's hit a couple of threes.
Count it again.
Pre-Gold Friday deals presented by KeyBank are underway with tickets as low as $5 when the Pacers meet the Wizards on Sunday, the Pelicans on Monday, and Trailblazers on Wednesday. Get your tickets at Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Real stories with Helzberg.
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was gonna kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Helzberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Helzberg store or helzberg.com.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
So this new dose is, well, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Bees offering our Black Friday sale. 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates, and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
So celebrities like Cher and Miley Cyrus, Barbara Streisand, Whoopi Goldberg all made headlines by threatening to leave the United States if Donald Trump won the presidential election. I'd say bye-bye, but they actually never leave until now.
But does anybody even does it
matter? Do we care?
Who cares?
Right, like just go.
The idea, it's like we were talking about earlier with the thing with me, you know, if I were to ever leave here for a job in the government, and it's like, I would not be arrogant enough to think that WIBC, like people would stop listening to WIBC if I were not here one day, or you were not here one day, or Hammer and Nigel were not here one day.
Right.
This radio station has been home to some of the greatest, most brilliant broadcasters that have ever existed in this city. And you know what? The radio station still exists. When I was a kid, it was 1070. You know what it is? 93.1 now. It's the magic is in the call letters itself and the lure of what that is meant to so many people over the years. Would it hurt this show or that show? Maybe, but the idea that anybody would just stop doing something. And these people, whether it's I'm getting off Twitter, I'm going to Blue Sky.
Did you see LeBron James announced last night?
Oh.
I'm leaving using social media.
I mean, like, and these people, I'm leaving the country. Nobody cares. The country's so much bigger than one person. Nobody cares. Good riddance. Get out of here. Nobody's going to miss you. Nobody's going to worry. Nobody's going to be like, oh, my gosh, Ellen DeGeneres is gone, or whatever, her wife or whatever she
Portia
is.
de Rossi.
Thank you, who was very good in Arrested Development, by the way. But, there's just nobody cares. Nobody cares if, look at the most popular woman on the planet endorsed Kamala Harris. And what did it do? It hurt her.
Yeah.
Polling showed it hurt her. People do not care. They don't care what celebrities think. They don't care where you live. People are sick of celebrities.
And that's a lesson that Kamala Harris learned.
And in the modern era, I think the lure or the power of celebrities is at an all-time low. I mean, look at how Hollywood is struggling. Look at all these tours and stuff that have either had to be canceled or drawn down. I mean, your tippy-top people continue to do well, but they don't influence society. People go to be entertained. They might like your movie. They might like your TV show. They do not care what you think politically.
Okay, so DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, apparently they bought a property in the UK before the election, but then they became very disillusioned with his victory and decided to, quote, get the hell out of the U.S.
Bye.
And so they purchased this property in Cotswolds, which is a very picturesque
Have you
region.
ever been to Cotswolds?
Cotswolds.
You've been all over this.
That sounds very familiar. It sounds very sophisticated.
Yeah,
Southwest part of England. It's about 2 hours from London.
It's very posh.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say posh because you know who Ellen DeGeneres' new neighbors will be. David and Victoria Beckham.
Posh
so it's Spice.
Hang around among a bunch of regular people, right?
But here's the deal. I remember a time when Ellen DeGeneres liked Donald Trump, liked him so much, in fact, that she asked him to marry her mother.
I see a beautiful woman up there. That's your mother, isn't it, huh?
Yeah.
Ah,
look at her.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
And she's available if you're interested. I'd like to offer her.
She's very pretty, actually.
She hates Donald Trump so much that she wants him to marry her mom.
Well, it's no different than all those photos of Trump with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all the rest of. They were giving him awards. No, this way, nobody buys the bull crap. Trump's a ist. He's a this. Nobody believe. By the way, let's give Trump some credit. He didn't look at her and go, "Have you seen who I marry? You think I'm going to marry your mom?" Right. I mean, like.
Have you seen Melania?
I mean, so this is the whole thing. And thankfully, it is sad that it took the country 4 years to figure out how hoodwinked and snowed they were getting. But I think most people have awakened to that, and they don't listen to it anymore, and they don't care about it anymore, and they don't care what these people think, and they're just going and living their lives.
Okay, so Kamala Harris, she lost to Donald Trump in the 24 presidential election, but if the 2028 election were to be held today, there's a large margin of Democrats who, guess what, would vote for her again.
Okay, but this happens almost every cycle. Like I remember in 2000, and then it's Gore, and then the reality is it's because people are pissed off because they probably feel they got screwed or their candidate got screwed, and then they don't know anybody else, so they're not familiar with anybody else. And over the next,
it'll change by then.
Once you start seeing these people, I mean, the media's gonna pick their hand-chosen person. I mean, it was Hillary in 16, it was Biden in 20, and then it became Kamala, obviously, in 24. And they'll pick whether it's Gruesome Newsom or Pete or whoever. And that'll be the person they're going to put up on a pedestal, and they'll make the gullible idiot Democrats fall in love with that person.
It's interesting that they're already polling for 2028. I mean, Trump hasn't even been sworn in for this election, but that people are already moving along. So according to this new Puck News poll, Kamala Harris sits at 41% support, being the front runner for 2028, followed by Gavin Newsom, who comes in second at 8%, and then Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is at 7%, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz at 6%. Yikes!
I would say realistically, Newsom is the favorite, right? Because he's a governor of a state. He's been incredibly anti-Trump. His state is radically like a Shapiro's going to have a hard time. One, he's Jewish, and the Democrats are just have tons of anti-Semites in their party, so he's going to have a hard time. But two, he's not a grenade thrower. Like, he's a very kind of normal, to the extent they still exist, Democrat, and that's not going to grab anybody's attention. And Newsom is all the boxes, right? He is a good-looking dude. He's a governor. He's radically left. His state is radically left. I mean, he's sort of the guy, other than he's a white man, which will work against him. But who do the Democrats really even have? I mean, you can't run Bernie. Warren's too old. I mean, like, who are they?
Who's on the bench?
Who is it?
Yeah. Okay, so Buttigieg. Yeah, he's in the mix as well. Oh boy.
His name was Ted. He died.
Is Kamala Harris going to get a third chance to run? Well, surprisingly, Fox News' Jessica Tarloff. You ever watch this woman? You know,
I don't have cable.
She's one of the 5 that they have on their show, but she's the Democrat.
Oh.
She's the opposing view. Even she says, no, it won't be Harris.
I would doubt it. I mean, this is usually how it goes. I mean, she's top of mind for everyone. She just ran. I think it's probably more likely, and they're sniffing around the possibility of her running for California governor than coming back to do this. But I think that the 2028 primary is going to be full of very interesting characters with a lot of good stuff to run on. And you saw that at the DNC. People like Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer, Wes Moore, Gavin Newsom, people with great executive experience and records to show off.
It will be interesting because you will have the first non-Trump election in 12 years. And so it will be interesting. I mean, I think it's going to be Vance, depending on how Trump does, and DeSantis are going to probably be the two just names, and they're pretty boring and they're pretty normal. And it will be interesting if indeed the Democrats don't get, Oprah or The Rock or whoever to run, if when we have boring against boring, how that resets the political landscape.
A lot of people are saying that for the first female president, it will come from the Republican side.
I agree with that.
Somebody like Sarah Huckabee Sanders or even Kristi Noem. But I think it all depends on how they perform in the positions that Donald Trump wants them in the next 4 years.
His name was Ted. He died. Buttigieg.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Be ready for more. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Visibility and road conditions could be tricky later today. Ryan Hedrick explains.
The main roads will be slippery, but it's the side roads that you should really watch out for.
Be careful not to underestimate the road conditions in that scenario.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
We're really concerned about bridges and overpasses and some of the lesser traveled roads. If the moderate to maybe even briefly heavy snowfall rates occur, that would be the most likely scenario.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The DOJ wants a federal court to force Google to sell off its popular Chrome web browser as part of its antitrust case. The request made Wednesday after a court ruled in August that the company holds a monopoly in the online search market. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now, 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house.
Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Casey, question.
Yes, Rob.
What is the fastest you've ever gone in your automobile?
In my automobile? In the convertible Mustang, I think I got it up a little bit over 100 for a very short amount of time.
Was this like on an interstate or a county road of some sort? Or
I prefer not to talk about it.
Well, statute of limitations is probably
Okay,
expired.
that's true. It was on the toll road in northern Indiana.
They don't monitor that?
Oh, no, they do.
So you were taking a big risk.
I was just trying to see how fast I could get the Mustang rolling, and I got it rolling. But then, the speedometer, it was buried,
Yeah.
And when I got it up to the point where it couldn't go any faster, really, that's when I pulled back on it. However,
So you think you hit 100 miles an hour?
oh, I know I did.
Yeah.
However, I have gone faster than that on the motorcycle.
On the motor, like how? Okay, so how fast have you gotten? What is I'll ask it again.
You want to go
What is
danger
the
zone?
fastest you have ever
Yikes.
gone on a motor
On a
car,
motorized
cart or carriage
vehicle.
of some sort?
Well, my Harley is the 114, which is the fastest motor that Harley-Davidson makes.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to test it out one time. I was on the Natchez Trace, which is in Mississippi. It's
Uh-huh.
a very nice, smooth road. So I got it up past 110.
Yeah.
And that's when I had to pull off the throttle because that is very dangerous.
And a motorcycle.
It was really stupid of me.
You didn't take your hands off like in Titanic. I'm the king of the world.
No,
What was-
I don't recommend you do that. Don't do that. It was not a smart thing to do. I was wearing my helmet.
Well, that would have done
leather
about
coat,
zero
gloves,
good if you'd have fallen off at 110.
Full protection. Yeah, that's true. But I did get it up going really fast, and it scared the crap out of me. So I let off the throttle.
Was Jim hanging on to you from behind?
No, he was not there for that.
So you're by yourself. Kev, what's the fastest you've ever gone in a motorized cart or carriage or automobile?
You know, I've probably pushed 70 before, maybe 75 in the van.
You spent time in Germany. Were you ever on the Autobahn?
You know, I actually was in a bus on the Autobahn.
But you were never
I never drove. No, that would have been wild.
Yeah, so and they go really fast on the Autobahn?
Oh, yeah, there's no limits.
What?
I don't think there's any speed limit on the Autobahn.
There's no speed limit on the Autobahn. Like, you just go. Like, if your car could go 130, you would be permitted to go 130 miles an hour.
Yeah, I remember there was this German guy at a bar once who was showing me videos of him, like, riding in his Ferrari, and he was going, like, 120 or something.
Wow.
That's scary fast.
So
I don't recommend doing that. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Now that I've realized how stupid that was.
Yeah, so the reason I asked this, and speaking of stupid things people do, so WIBC had this story, and this is beyond stupid, and I hope they throw the book at this guy. This is a driver in Hancock County was arrested Tuesday for going 110 miles per hour in a construction zone.
Yeah.
The speed limit is 55, so that means he was doing double the speed limit.
Yeah, and so the state police sergeant said that he's facing charges not only for reckless driving, but for other citations as well. Did he think that in a construction zone, he wasn't going to get caught?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, 110 in any sort of anything, you know, with any sort of people around you or potentially people around you is kind of nutso.
What's the fastest you've ever gone?
Well, you know, I'm
pretty safe.
I'm pretty boring. I think I probably hit 90 at some point. Yeah, I think I know, like when I used to go down to, because I used to play a game when I owned my radio station down near Wilmington. I would time myself. That would be how I would, because it's a anywhere between a 10 and a half and 12-hour trip, depending on how fast you go. And so I would literally play a game with myself. So, like, if you had to go to the restroom, you'd sprint in and sprint out. If you had to get gas, you'd try to time them up at the same time.
Beat the clock.
Yeah, I think I did it in about 10 and a half, maybe 11 hours one time. I definitely hit 90 at multiple, but it's always like if people are going around you or people are going faster than you, then they're going to hit somebody before they're going to hit you. So I always try to obey all applicable speed limits where possible, but I'm sure I hit 90 at some point. We did this. We solicited calls on this at one point, right? About how fast
you think over the speed limit
you can go.
Yeah.
And wasn't the consensus kind of 9 you're fine, 10 you're mine sort of thing? So
yeah, I think most people said like 7, 8 was the most over the speed
limit. And we
limit
even had like cops and stuff, police officers call us and say that they, and you, like, you know, and it's a part of it is where you're at too, right? Like if you are on 465 in the greater Indianapolis area, those officers have a million things to worry about other than if you're going 11 over the speed limit. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, sometimes they will set up speed traps and get you. Like, you'll see the guy with the gun, and they've clearly organized an effort. But just a rank-and-file officer going down the road in the city of Indianapolis, he does not have the time nor the energy. As long as you're not causing harm to humanity as a collective, he's just like, hey, please don't run into anything. Have a nice day. So, yeah, anyway, that guy's an idiot, and hopefully they totally throw the book at him. Hey, real quick, we got to give this phone number out for this goof superintendent there in Westfield, Paul Kaiser. He's the guy who, along with the principal, uninvited Micah Beckwith to speak with. Micah Beckwith is invited. He's the head of agriculture, incoming head of agriculture in the state. He was invited to speak and learn and be a part of the ag students for a day or whatever. And then that offer was rescinded, and then it was made clear to him, I guess by the superintendent, that it was because roughly 15 wine mom Karens got mad on the Townie Chatter Board, and I've seen screenshots of one of these Townie Chatter Boards. It's very clear his faith is pissing a bunch of these people off. And so we had asked people, we said, well, here's Paul Kaiser. And by the way, it's not his personal phone number. We're not doxing him. It's his. Casey will vouch. I did call him earlier today. He did confirm. Casey heard there was a person on the other end. He did confirm. This is the number. This is my public phone number.
He didn't ask you why you wanted to know.
Oh, I think he had a pretty good idea. So this is his public number. The email we're giving is his public email. You own it as a taxpayer, right? So we're not doing anything unethical or wrong or underhanded or whatever. So if you would like to call, because we we got to get to 15.
Well, I would think that if a townie chatterboard is going to sway him, that actual real calls and emails would do even more.
Well, so I know we shut his voicemail down earlier. People were telling me earlier that a little while ago, the voicemail is working again. So he's probably not going to answer, but leave him a voicemail. Let him know what you think about Micah Beckwith being disinvited to talk about agriculture with ag students because a bunch of wine mom Karens are mad about Micah Beckwith's faith. You can call him at 317-385-4912. I think if we shut his voicemail down again, that'd be fun. 317-385-4912. And then I'm going to follow up with him later today with an email asking if he's going to re-invite Micah Beckwith back, or if he's going to continue to bend a knee to the liberal leftist wine mom Karens who are mad about Micah Beckwith's faith.
What do you think's going to happen?
Well,
you like to bet.
Well, Casey, once I get into something, I usually don't really get out of it.
Kind of like a bulldog.
Well, and so this is now my kind of cause du jour because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that the incoming head of agriculture, who was invited by the teacher that oversees the ag students, invited him to come be a part of this. And then clearly, and I guess it's been admitted to, the superintendent and the principal stepped in and said, no, we don't.
Most schools would be begging for an elected official to come in and talk to their students.
By the way, somebody sent me a thing and said, the Tri-West FFA would love to hear from.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter what his politics are. He's not there to talk politics. He's the head of agriculture. These kids clearly have an interest in agriculture. Many of them, their families probably earn their living in agriculture. Some of them even go to his church, and they got disinvited because they're so afraid of these lunatic leftist maniacs who, by the way, just lost another election again. You want to see where your constituency is? You want to see where your taxpayers are in that community? Clearly, they're on the side of, and in the state of Micah Beckwith and Mike Braun. And so we got to teach these people a lesson. We got to teach them the hard way. If you're going to behave like this now, we're going to call you out. We're going to make your life difficult because this is public education. It's public money. You're being ridiculous. 317-385-4912.
Did you see that there was a lawsuit filed in Florida by Ronald Blue Denton
I don't believe that's his
against Netflix? He said that they have a breach of contract because of the Tyson Jake Paul
we talked
fight.
about this.
Yeah.
How if you signed up for that thing because of it and you
gotta
couldn't
be
get
mad.
the thing, or if you're paying for it. Now, if you're paying for it, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. That'll probably end up like a class action something or other, right? Because people are going to be angry that they signed up for the thing and couldn't get the thing.
So Netflix came out and they said that they drew 108 million global viewers, making it the most streamed sporting event ever.
And most of you were completely miserable. Congratulations.
most streamed sporting event that no one could see ever. You've got an event tonight that we have to talk about, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, that's coming up from 93 WIBC.
Tonight on the Tony Kinnett Cast, we'll be over on YouTube at the Daily Signal for a special interview because the IU game is on and I'm not missing that. See you then.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. And there are so many of them. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms and hire us instead, I wonder why they ever called the other firm in the first place. They were smart to switch before it was too late. You only get one day in court. You know who has the resources and results to fight to handle your claim. And the big insurance company on the other side, they know it too. They know us well. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. Walk our way. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395.
Hey, it's Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our 50% off sale. Save 50% off all Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, Bassett, plus we pay your sales tax, and we even give you more discounts for cash. That's every sofa, recliner, sectional, lift chair, you name it, it's on sale. Now through Monday, only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
Rob, you have an event coming up tonight. Tell us all about it. What are you doing?
Yes, it is we are raising money for Moselle Sanders, and our goal is to feed 10,000 people. Our goal is to raise $10,000 to feed 10,000 people this Thanksgiving, and it is called it's the Celebrity Bartenders. They're bringing in people from all the different radio stations. Myself, Sean Copeland from B1057, Jake Query from 107.5 The Fan. All of our radio stations here in Urban One here in Indianapolis have somebody that's going over. We're going to Hi-Fi tonight, 6:30. I believe it goes until 9-ish. And we will be celebrity bartending. You can get tickets at the events page at WIBC.com. You go to the events page. Tickets are like $20. All the money's going to feed people this Thanksgiving. And we will be there making drinks. We all have our own little drink that we're making. And we'll be there tonight.
Okay, now you had mentioned that this is for Moselle Sanders. It's the foundation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so this is a nonprofit organization. They've been feeding the hungry for over 50 years here in Indianapolis. And last year, the foundation served over 10,000 hot meals on Thanksgiving Day. So is this the money that you're raising? Is it for Thanksgiving Day or is it for the holiday season?
Yeah, I think it's for Thanksgiving Day itself. I think their goal, they're very efficient over there. And again, the name of it, if you go to the events page at WIBC.com, is Celebrity Bartender Toast to Moselle Sanders. And like I said, they're very efficient. And you think about it, If you have $10,000 and you can feed 10,000 people, that's $1 a person. That's a really efficient way to be able to feed hungry people in Central Indiana. By the way, the event is powered by Jack Daniels. So my drink, I'm doing the Dirty Shirley, is a little Jack Daniels in it.
Yeah.
And again, tickets.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You're using the liquor that's sponsoring the event.
That's right. So if you just go to the events page, WIBC.com, you can get your tickets there. It'll be a fun evening. And they'll have a DJ there as well, all sorts of stuff. And the Hi-Fi is a great place. I can't believe they're even going to let me in the Hi-Fi. So I'll be there tonight slinging drinks. It was so funny because they were like, hey, you have a liquor license, right? I was like, well, I sure do.
Yes,
Steve.
I do.
That's right. And I thought they were going to ask me to bartend some, event while being paid very lucrative funds. They're like,
no,
we need you to volunteer for this event.
Yeah, exactly. We need you to do something for free, but it's for a good cause,
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
I mean, feeding people during this time of year is especially significant. And did you know that Reverend Dr. Moselle Sanders, he won a lot of awards. He was given numerous awards and statewide recognition.
You know who never gets statewide recognition or awards?
I know. That's why
It's
I
us.
bring it up. That's why I bring it up.
Think about, what we'll do this. We'll do the Salvation Army, the Radiothon for the Salvation Army. I mean, we talked about this with Micah earlier. I don't know who hands out the Sagamores.
Yeah.
I don't know if the lieutenant governor can do that. He said he has to kind of make a list and give those to Braun.
Mhm.
I mean, shouldn't I be right at the top of that
You think
list
you're deserving?
Who's done more for the state than me?
Well, hopefully you'll be doing a lot more by getting your suggestion for property tax reform through.
Well, we'll see what happens. But yes, anyway, thank you for allowing us to me to promote this again tonight. The events page, WIBC.com.
Time
Get your
it
tickets
starts
there.
at what time?
I think 6:30 you can start rolling in there, and I'll be there till, this says 9:30. So I guess I'll just keep serving until, you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here, right?
Until you shut it down.
So, and I think my wife is going to come to this tonight as well. I don't know how long she'll be there. So if you'd like to meet my wife, this might be an opportunity.
Yeah. To meet somebody else who can tolerate you for a long term.
She was like, can I come to this tonight? I was
Of
like,
course.
really? You want to be around me in
She
public?
wants to support you. Of course she does. So before we
I
get
think
out
she
of
wants
here-
to drink.
Well, there's that
I don't
too.
think supporting me has anything to do with it.
Have you been practicing spinning the bottles like Tom Cruise from Cocktail? Do you do any
No.
bartender tricks?
Well, here is what I've told people when I bartend events. You're going to get great conversation.
Mhm.
My actual bartending itself, mediocre at best, because I don't do it. When people book me for events to bartend,
They're booking you for the sparkling conversation.
that is correct.
Not the mixology talents.
I can pour the drinks.
Mhm.
If it's a simple drink like the Dirty Shirley, pretty simple, I'll be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
But if you're needing somebody to light a fire or, twirl bottles or whatever, that's not why you book me to bartend your event. And I used to bartend on the regular when I was working at the golf course, but now I've only done it a couple times this year. So
Okay.
I'm a little out of practice.
Well, I'm sure those skills will come running back to you after
my
the first
goodness.
cocktail.
How could anything go wrong? And
All
by
right.
how could anything, I mean everything.
Well, good luck tonight,
Thank you.
and we expect a big crowd there helping you raise all of that money for such a good
Let's
cause.
do it. I know there's already sold quite a few tickets. Events page, WIBC.com.
Yeah. All right, and that's going to do it for us today. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you for listening. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Planning on inviting friends and family over sometime soon? Whether you're hosting a football watch party, Friendsgiving, or Turkey Day celebration, you know all about the hustle to get the house looking perfect. But there's one thing you can't fix on your own: the sticking windows and doors, drywall cracks, uneven floors, or mold and mildew smells. Things that stand out. Indiana Foundation Service knows that all of these signs point to major damage building up in your foundation, crawl space, or basement, and it'll only get worse over time. Don't worry. With a free foundation inspection from Indiana Foundation Service, the team's experts will identify your home's issue at the source. You'll want to get ahead of these problems sooner rather than later. Visit IndianaFoundation.com today to book your free inspection with a no-obligation quote included. Indiana Foundation Service. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
You think the Bible's boring? It's hard to understand? This is Pastor Nathan from Life Church. We explain the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse. We know God's Word breathes life into people Sunday after Sunday. And when we finish a book, not only will you understand it, but we believe that it'll change you. We just started the book of John, and it reveals who God is. If you're just curious or you've walked with the Lord for a long time, we'd love to have you come. Check out lifechurchin.com for service times and locations.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hearing about online threats every day can be stressful. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? You won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends 12/4/24. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up, we're really concerned about bridges and overpasses and some of the lesser traveled roads.
Police began their chase, which went all over Columbus.
But it's juvenile delinquency. Cities that haven't been infected by this violence.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
It might put you through a lot.
I'm Ryan Hedrick.
And I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. Snow will be heavy at times as it sweeps across Indiana today.
We're really concerned about bridges and overpasses and some of the lesser traveled roads. If the moderate to maybe even briefly heavy snowfall rates occur, that would be the most likely scenario for there to be some minor travel problems.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says places like Terre Haute, Vincennes, Lafayette, and Muncie could get up to 3 inches today.
And so we're quite a bit colder than we have been the last several days. In fact, we've had a long stretch of above normal temperatures. That's obviously come to an end now. And it looks like it's not going to change a whole lot today. It'll increase a little bit.
And highs in most places across the state won't even reach 40 degrees today, but it will warm up a little bit this weekend. Bowers expects the snow to end sometime tonight.
A Brinks security truck was robbed by 2 men in Indianapolis around 8 o'clock this morning along Southeastern Avenue at a Chase Bank. That's on the southeast side of Indy near Thompson and Franklin Roads. IMPD says both men drove off in a car with a third person that caused a chase. The car eventually crashed near South Arlington and Julian Avenues. The cops say 2 of the 3 men have been caught. Irvington Community School Corporation was placed on lockdown, but that lockdown has been lifted.
Police say they've also taken down a meth trafficking conspiracy in Indianapolis. 11 people have been charged in it. 10 people have been arrested, and 1 still remains a fugitive. Investigators say that from February through November 14th of this year, all 11 defendants in this case conspired together to distribute 500 grams or more of meth. They also believe the meth deals took place at several locations across Indianapolis, including parking lots, gas stations, apartment complexes, motels, and a gentleman's club.
There was a police chase in Columbus, Indiana this week. Harrison Silcox has that story.
Bartholomew County Sheriff's deputies tried to pull over a passenger car with 2 people inside late Monday night, but the car refused to pull over. That's when police began their chase, which went all over Columbus. At one point, deputies say the car stopped. The driver and the passenger swapped seats without even getting out of the car. The chase didn't last much longer after that. It ended in the arrest of Brandon Burton and Adriana Hoover for resisting officers. Drugs were also found in their car, so the two also have a few drug-related charges as well. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Murder and criminal recklessness are the charges against a 13-year-old in Johnson County. The boy is accused of shooting and killing James Davis while fiddling around with a handgun at a home this month. Prosecutor Lance Hamner tells Hammer and Nigel on WIBC that both charges are super generic for now.
But it's juvenile delinquency for the charge of murder if committed by an adult, and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, a level 5 felony if committed by an adult.
Meaning it's not clear if he'll be charged as a child or as an adult.
Issues at the border and at the pump. Those stories and more next on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, Daniel Penny does not deserve what he's getting. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Donald Trump wants to crack down on illegal immigration. Kurt Darling reports the Indiana's National Guard appears ready to help.
President-elect Donald Trump campaigned on promises to carry out mass deportations of people in the U.S. illegally, mainly those who are affiliated with gangs, drug cartels, and other crimes.
Cities that haven't been infected by this violence yet, they're petrified because it's coming to them also.
General Dale Lyles says his soldiers with the Indiana National Guard are ready to assist in such plans if the new president requests their help. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
As for how that affects Mexico, well, here's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal.
Mexico's new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, said this week that she would be discussing with her cabinet how they'd be handling a number of issues, including migration, trade, and security, with the incoming Trump administration. Sheinbaum, who took office last month, said they're going to, at some point, present President Trump a humanistic proposal, as she put it, that will reduce immigration and address root causes. Mexico's economy minister, who dealt with the first Trump administration, said they were expecting this election outcome and they are ready. The New York Times reports Mexican officials are preparing to negotiate with the returning president over tariffs, cartels, and expect he may possibly bring up another Remain in Mexico program. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Indiana gas at $2.94 a gallon on average today, says Gas Buddy. That's down 6 cents from where it was Monday. In California, they recently passed higher fuel standards. Tom Manzo with the California Business and Industrial Alliance says Governor Gavin Newsom, his moves will push gas prices through the roof there.
Newsom and his appointees at these agencies aren't facing reality. They're living in fantasy island.
The alliance has taken out a full-page ad in the USA Today to try and get their lawmakers to act.
At least 3 new flight options will be available for you at the Indianapolis International Airport next spring. Here's Sasha Nixon.
Frontier Airlines announced that it will add nonstop flights to Tampa and Atlanta in early March. It will also provide flights back to Indianapolis. And starting in May, Allegiant Airlines says it will offer nonstop flights to Portland. While Spirit Airlines had noted that it would be adding new flights next year, the company recently declared bankruptcy. It is not yet clear how future flights might be impacted. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team is 3-0. They are ranked 16th in the country, and they face UNC Greensboro tonight at 6:30 at Assembly Hall. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 right here on 93 WIBC.
And checking the radar, a winter weather advisory goes into effect at about 4. That's when the second round of snow will come across the capital city. I'm Ryan Hedrick.
And I'm John Herrick. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
Live from the heartland and the crossroads of America, it's Tony Katz Today.
Total madness. I mean, silliness at this stage of the game. What we're watching, what we're seeing in the response to Trump's cabinet picks is, it's nuts. It's irrational on every level. Like me thinking I can grow out my hair and it's all going to look fine. I'm looking at myself right now. It does not look fine. Tony Katz Tony Katz today. What's going on, everybody? 833-GOT-TONY, 833-468-8669, 833-GOT-TONY. That's how you get to be a part of the program. This is not about whether or not you're down with every cabinet pick. I'm not. I have been clear about it, and I am not about to change. I say no to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I think that Tulsi Gabbard, I think this is going to be a question of real questions. I know that everybody's talking about, look at what Nikki Haley is doing, asking about Tulsi Gabbard, reminding everybody of the kind of person that Tulsi Gabbard is. First of all, Nikki Haley, not dumb.